wiggity, wiggity, whack. We are back with a Royal Rumble episode of the Free Speech podcast because there's going to be people coming and people going. And by people coming, I mean Nico's late. And by people going, I mean I'm leaving early. But today I'm joined by Mr. Hate Speech himself.
Hello.
Producer extraordinaire Mooch.
Hello.
And the prodigal son has returned. It's Alistair Williams. Welcome back, Alistair.
Welcome to me.
Thanks for coming. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Nice.
Getting in there, enjoying the pandemic, enjoying it.
Alistair, do you know why Darius talks like he's a 12-year-old presenter on Urban Youth TV in the 90s?
I just assumed that was his style and he was rolling with it.
Yeah, that's right.
Going
I think it's
pretty
something
well.
to do with the baseball cap he's wearing today.
Yeah, it's made you more.
Do you like my baseball cap? I got this made. I'm going to sell it for Heat and Live merch.
But it costs £8, so you're going to
Well,
have to sell
don't
it for
tell them.
quite a lot of money.
Well, don't tell them how much money I'm going to... Half of this is your money.
Well, you didn't do this you didn't consult me.
But this was a test product.
All right, cool.
I
Yeah, well,
actually
it
really
definitely
like
works.
the colour
Yeah, it
that you
works.
got there. You know, like the colour you got there?
Yeah,
Like the neon pink. I like that colour. It's a good colour.
It's
On
a
a
good-
black hat,
it-
that's a good colour.
It's a really good logo, and it's because we stole it from Late and Live.
Fingers crossed, Hate and Live is going to be returning to the Edinburgh Fringe, and also Darius has got a residency for it. And Hate and Live, for anybody who hasn't seen it, which is probably everyone listening to the podcast, it's the ultimate free speech show. So the audience writes down what they hate. You can write anything down. Could be like, something surreal, could be something more topical. You can have Joe Biden, you could have the mating rituals of guinea pigs. Goes into a bucket, then we pull it out, and the comedians, we've got a panel of comedians on stage, and they have to say why they hate it. But it's not like a boring panel show. It's like stand-up. It's like improvised stand-up. It's really fun. Have you done it,
Yeah,
Alex?
no, I have. Yeah. It's
Did you
it's a
enjoy it?
very good idea. It's a very good idea.
Really badly executed.
No,
even if people are shit, it's funny.
Well, we
You know what I mean?
execute it good now.
Yeah, no, it's really polished. It's really slick.
Execute good we.
I could imagine. When you've got a good format, you should
Yeah.
put work into it. And I think you've got a really good format.
Yeah,
we
we-
should definitely like it.
We did. We
Go
almost
all in.
got it. We almost got it made on TV.
We're this close.
You just this much close to had it being ruined.
Well,
You avoided that
Yes,
fucking
very
happening.
good
Well,
point, yeah.
you know
You know
what
what I mean? You would have been shit in
would got
one
money.
fucking season.
It would have been shit, but we would have got money. But I actually think there's going to be
Longevity.
No, but I think all of this we're peaking up to the woke stuff is about to go. People are so sick and tired of it. They can
Honestly.
see it.
Why would you need a TV company to help you make a video these days?
Oh, because it's quite complicated. It's not just like you can't just do it talking to a mobile phone. This is like you got.
I just want to chip in
fireworks.
here. 'Cause these
so you need a
guys-
budget.
Need a budget.
So you need a budget. So
No.
do a GoFundMe, but not a corrupt one. You know?
Oh, well, I forgot.
Go fund me. I'll take the money off.
There'll
us.
be a not corrupt GoFundMe now.
I saw what they did to the truckers. They
crazy.
take the money. They'll
There's a
distribute
real
it to
one
James
now.
Ross.
£9 million to Black Lives Matter. Said, woohoo, we made some money. More
But there's
mansions
a real
for
one
us.
now.
So they gave the money to Black Lives Matter. They took the money off. Anybody hasn't followed this, like the truck protesters in Ottawa had a fundraiser, and like they're having a peaceful protest against vaccine mandates. They're not doing anything like bad, or they're not burning businesses or destroying property or anything. They're just protesting. And GoFundMe is like, oh no, they're far right extremists or whatever, and is taking their money off them and giving it. Not even just returned it to the people who donated it, giving it.
Okay.
To,
Well, Leo's slightly misinformation, but that's fine. We allow that on this podcast.
It's close.
It's close.
It's close.
What
To be fair.
what actually happened is the truckers raised $10 million via GoFundMe.
Yeah.
They released $1 million. Three people have been arrested during the Convoy protest, and then they went, this is not like this is a violent protest. Meanwhile, the peaceful protest had cities burning down left, right, and center. Originally, GoFundMe said we're going to distribute the $9 million to various charities. Then it's a Black Lives Matter, but people thought, well, we don't. You didn't mind when they were burning cities down, so you're probably going to distribute it to them. Then everyone went, you know what? Issue a chargeback, and they'll you'll get your money back, and they'll be hit with $15 each time, $15 to like $100 each time you issue a chargeback.
right.
So then everyone started doing that. So GoFundMe were in need of almost opening a GoFundMe for GoFundMe, right? so they set up an automatic refund, so their money's going back. And now there's another GoFundMe. I think it's called I can't remember what it's called, but there's a Christian GoFundMe or something, and they raised $2 million, I believe, like within
For
the
the
first
truckers.
couple of hours. But it's ridiculous. I mean, so we were just talking. We were trying to hold off. What do you think is going to happen with the Canadian convoy? Because told you what we'll discuss.
I'll just say before we say that, most of the arrests that happen in these peaceful protests usually are people that the government employ to go into the protest and start acting like shit or stirring shit up. Like they catch them now.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, they catch them now and they put them on Twitter
They
laughing
make nice
at them.
underwear.
They don't know, but they turn up with like a white power flag with like a truck in the middle of it, and people are like, "Where'd you get that flag? Like, what are you doing?" Like,
they put bricks
they
out
come
on
into the protest to be like, "We're racist and we love this." It's like, get out of it.
Why do they need to raise funds? Because Agent Provocateur, their underwear is so expensive.
Hey-o.
Actually, you know, Antifa.
Yeah,
What did
thank
you see?
you.
I think the first link on the thing about the truckers.
Yes.
In the thing, so there's somebody drove a Jeep Patriot, ironically, into protesters.
Yeah.
At one of the, I think it was in Winnipeg, not the main one in Ottawa, but in Manitoba legislature.
Should we watch
and-
this video? Or?
Yeah, we watched this video.
has it got the video of the running
Copyright
over?
strike.
Oh, this is slick. You got this going on.
Yeah, we got
This is-
TV
look
and
at
everything.
this.
If you're listening to this on audio,
Got Star
we're
Wars in it.
currently watching
A video.
a video.
But there's no sound, so we're going to
But there-
describe it.
And there's a
There
slow-moving
is.
Jeep, and now it's speeding up a bit. It's red, and it's
Yeah.
gone off camera, and it didn't do anything. So that
There's
wasn't.
another one going through. that
There's
isn't
another
doing
one
anything.
coming
Wow.
past
But
through.
we're sure this video is going to get interesting.
Okay, I think that looks like a Nissan Altima. That's also passed without incident.
We're looking for a Jeep Patriot.
We're looking for a Jeep Patriot.
Does anyone know what a Jeep Patriot? I'm
Oh,
assuming
wait a minute.
The
It could be
edit
this
this looks
one.
quite
Oh,
patriotic.
There's a mean-looking Jeep.
Did it do
No,
it? It didn't
no,
do
it's a
anything.
4x4. It passed without.
That's a Ford.
They
F-50.
really edited this video well.
Yeah, passed without incident.
We're
Okay.
halfway through, so
We're-
Okay,
Yeah, we're
so
almost
it's
to the
coming.
end of
It's
it.
coming now.
6 hour video. It's a
Coming
live
that way.
stream.
Here's
Oh,
another.
here we go. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, wait a
Did
minute.
it just stop?
You paused it, Mooch. You paused. Why?
I didn't. It's just frozen.
Oh, it's frozen at the best part.
Oh, I think they've done.
Ah, so you can't see the people getting killed and stuff.
Oh.
So basically, yeah, that video was terrible.
That
If
was-
you're
that was-
listening on audio, you'll be very grateful to have not
Yeah,
watched
you
it. It just
did
showed
well.
some cars going past, and then as soon as something interesting happened, they stopped the video.
Yeah.
Was anticlimactic.
Antifa anticlimax.
Absolute car crash.
But,
Sorry, I just thought I'm going to.
but guess who the driver was?
Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you.
really loud. Sorry.
That was necessary. Though. I think
Guess
that's
who
what
the
it
driver
deserved.
was?
Go on.
It was Piers. No, it was Antifa.
It was an Antifa
All of them.
member.
Antifa. No, the driver. The
Antifa.
Antifa. I don't get it.
Anti. It's my anti. Oh, shut.
All right. Oh, Antifa.
What's fun?
What is it? Is this just
Well,
like
it's
it
a
happened today?
name,
or
I
something?
guess.
Is this like a real?
It happened yesterday.
Yesterday. Things happen so quick these days.
Yeah.
There's
That
so
isn't
much-
even the headline of.
And you know
today.
what also happened as well recently was so people reported, and this was reported in the news, like left wing, like I think CBC, and also a Canadian politician reported it that the truckers tried to start a fire in this apartment building. So they were arsonists, but they weren't. They were like young. They were like 18 years old and they had blue hair. So they weren't truckers. They were Antifa.
Have they got videos of it?
And they got video of it. There's I don't know if I put the link in the document. But yeah, and they said, and it was also weird, like, you know, because allegedly they were trying to burn this apartment building down, and like, you know, the person who put it on Twitter said, I didn't want to go at the police about it. And why would you not want to go at the police about somebody trying to burn a building down? So the whole thing was like concocted and put on Twitter. And the people who allegedly tried to start the fire said, we are Convoy protesters and we are starting a fire. You know, at that level of, you know.
Like
We're
Juicy,
not with the FBI and we're doing this. Like, okay, guys.
like Juicy Smollett's guy's story. Like, they
yeah,
were
yeah.
wearing
Like,
Trump hats
when
and
the
they
police
bought a
arrive
Oh,
to
yeah,
his
yeah,
apartment,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
still
yeah,
wearing
yeah.
a noose around his neck.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Do you know how hard it is to not be on the opposite side to that? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to be a respectable person, you've got to just call that out for like bullshit. Some people don't. They're
Oh.
just like, no, I believe him. You're all still crazy.
Oh,
It's
man,
like,
if
man,
you-
you're in so deep that you're believing him.
The majority
this?
of people will just go along with it because if you call it out, then you're a racist,
Yeah,
transphobe,
exactly.
misogynist, whatever it is. All
It's
these
like you've
words.
chosen not to see.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You're just like, nah, I'm
Willingly
not. I'm not.
naive.
Yeah. It's like I'm not seeing how broke society is. I'm just going over the cliff with him.
But
Yeah.
okay, let's bring it back in because there's a few things to analyze. So there's a few, man. So much is happening that is interrelated. So first of all,
This is
you
a
got
good Royal Rumble.
You got when Nico comes in, it will go into talking about vaccines and stuff.
I assume that's what I've been brought in.
Yeah, well, just to guarantee that we don't get monetized ever. But you know what was interesting? $9 million being stopped by GoFundMe. If this should raise just open everyone's eyes about cashless society, because what will happen is eventually it's going to be like all's cashless, and it's that easy to turn down your money, and that's why we don't want this. This is what people actually don't see. What the people who don't want to see is that the vaccine mandate passport is a thing that you're going to carry around, which will be linked to the social score, which is a thing which happens in China, and it'll be that easy to turn down. And if they can turn down a $9 million, and the only reason they got called out is because it's such a large amount. If they were to turn down your 20, like just stop your money, no one's going to listen to you. And you're
they're
done.
doing already.
There were other
They're doing already. I mean, when they cancelled my YouTube channel, what do you think they did to me?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
we cancelled your money. And then I started making it another way. Then they cancelled that. And like wherever I fucking go, whether it's even in the physical space or the online space, my money gets shut down. It's fucking weird, isn't it? It's almost like if you fucking want to do if you actually want to say, this is what I truly think is going on, that they want to make life difficult for you. Of course they do.
And it's weird because they'll say that your ideas are a threat to society. But I think society,
your society's hell.
No, but society is much more threatened by people shutting down people's money and livelihoods and censoring people. I don't feel threatened by it. I don't agree with all the stuff you say, but I don't feel threatened by it.
Exactly.
I agree with everything you say.
The real threat is the cashless society. The cashless society is the real threat. You won't be able to buy or sell without their mark. And that their mark is the only thing we're arguing about here.
Or
Apple
right?
Pay or Google Pay.
crypto.
Right.
Crypto is the future.
Right.
It's,
Well, however the mark comes, Mooch, I'm seeing the mark from the Revelation, from the book of Revelation in the Bible. I'm seeing it come in live.
who's Mark?
The mark of this world.
Mark of the beast.
Okay, I see.
Mark of this
Number
world.
of the beast.
Right. So you'll have to take this mark, or you won't be allowed to be involved in society. And as soon as there's a reason why they're driving for cashless society. Then they own everything. They can just shut you off.
Too much power.
Right. They're in charge. And at that point, it's either their way or you're going to have to go against. You have to die and starve or form your own communities or whatever.
Their way or the hair way.
Yeah.
Well, it's already like that in China.
Right.
There was I was reading something about some guy who didn't realize he was blacklisted until he tried to buy a train ticket, and you're fucked now. No loans. You can't get around the country.
You can't remember your password. It's there's too many options. Ask you if you want a window seat, an aisle seat. I've been through it all. Yeah.
Well, did you see that
Chilling.
scary video? So what the Chinese are doing now is even if you go abroad, they're phoning up like Chinese dissidents abroad from the police station with their family members there. So no, look, I've got your dad here just to say hello to you.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I read one of the reasons the trucking protest started was this trucker was on his way to the border because they drive through the borders all the time, right? And before he even got to the booth, the woman was like, "Here's my passport." She was like, "Oh, I don't need that." She's like, "We can see who you are coming down the thing just through your phone, your identification." And the trucker's like, "Okay, fuck this. Your list, you know where we're all going on some fucking map, blah, blah, blah. You're
Might have just been the number plate.
Nah.
I mean,
yeah. No, but she had his passport information. She didn't need his passport information.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, that's enough. Like, they can see what's being built
you're
for
just
us.
walking around shouting at electric lights, shouting at
I would
planes
be.
in the sky.
If I was him, I'd be like, right, fuck this.
How do you stay in the sky? You're with the clouds like a bird.
Yeah,
Birds aren't
might be
real.
What's happening? Yeah, you can't trust birds, man. That's the first thing they tell you. First thing they tell you when they tell you the truth is you can't trust birds anymore, guys.
And the
Don't go
language,
outside.
but I think the trucker thing has really exposed the sort of the woke left, how ridiculous they are. Because like Trudeau, so the truckers they're against vaccine mandates. They're not against vaccine. 85% of the truckers have been vaccinated. They're not against vaccines. They're against the mandate, which is like quite an authoritarian move to
Everyone
coerce
has to be
somebody, medically.
forced to take this thing.
Yeah, so they're against that. But Trudeau, he comes out and he says, "Oh, they're racist, misogynist, transphobic," and it's like, what's that got to do with anything? They haven't they haven't said anything to do with that. Like they're
right.
But these are words that the left use to sort of say, look, that person's out-group, that person should be shunned, that person's a witch.
They've
One of their
weaponized those
favourite
words.
terms is conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Okay? If I tell you that they're in violation of the Nuremberg Code, you'll probably think, I sound like a conspiracy theorist.
Sound like a conspiracy
Sound
theorist.
like a conspiracy.
Nuremberg-
You did before as well.
The
but now you
Nuremberg
also
Code
do.
says you can't experiment on people,
Yeah.
human beings, without their informed consent.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to question if these vaccines are safe or they destroy your life, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have the information, how can you possibly have informed consent? So it's a huge violation.
Yeah.
And the pressure they're putting on people. One of the things the Nuremberg Code said is you cannot coerce someone into having this. You can't force them, you can't threaten them, you can't encourage them. And they're not telling people this is an experimental medical procedure. I'm telling you, this is Nuremberg 2 on a global scale. And it's anyone who has any sense is looking at the history of the Nuremberg Code and what it says and going, oh yeah, this is a giant fucking violation. We're living in the craziest time there's ever been, in my opinion.
But the Nuremberg Code related, when it first came out, related to the medical experiments that were done by the Nazis.
Yeah, and they're violating it.
Yeah, but it's sort of...
It was built to constrain the Nazis, and I'm telling you, they've smashed it into a million pieces.
But this is just like a vaccine to try and stop people getting coronavirus.
I mean, hopefully. My point is, you're not allowed to question it.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to question it. And if you can't question it, you cannot give informed consent.
You can get fake vaccine passports.
What, doesn't that worry you? That
No.
some people feel they need a fake vaccine passport.
It's good because like anywhere you go, there's always the people
Yeah.
living in the sewers eating the rat burgers.
Right.
Like, there's
That's how
always
bad
going to be the
our
rat
society is.
burgers.
It's like we can join them in the sewers.
Yeah.
Like, that's how bad it is.
I'm gonna
We're
live in the
sewers,
sewers.
guys. That's pretty sweet
How do you
down
pay
there.
for stuff in the sewers? Like, if there's no cash, what's the
Bitcoin.
currency?
You buy a rat burger.
Shitcoin.
You trade goods and services.
Oh God.
That's
Back to a
Darius-
bartering economy.
That's Darius saying he'll give you a blowy if you give him a rat burger.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we saw that massive rat. We could have eaten that rat.
Man, that rat was the size
Free
of
down here, yeah.
does
Could have fed a
turkey.
person.
Oh man, they get some big ones, don't they?
That was a huge rat. So, but I think this
underneath.
convoy.
Convoy.
My opinion is this. I think the Canadian government are going to ride it out.
You go with the Canadians.
I think I'm in support of the
Yeah,
convoy.
yeah,
I think
you're
it's
just
amazing.
calling it. The
But
government are gonna
I
win.
can just see that the way they're painting it, they're smearing it, that they're riding it out. Because from what I've seen, I can only follow what I can follow online,
yeah.
which is probably censored as much as it can be. It looks like a pretty peaceful, supportive.
Yeah.
Protest. Fine, they're honking. Oh, we. But actually, you know what's funny is that all the Ottawa, they're honking all night. Well, why don't you you should have thought of that before you bought a house in Ottawa, yeah? Why don't you start your own platform, huh? Why don't you start your own Amazon and go take your services there?
Yeah.
So
Get some double glazing.
Yeah.
Get some earplugs.
But I think they're gonna. It's seemingly that the media and the government they're turning the narrative against from what it is,
Definitely.
and I think they're gonna hold out against it. That's my.
yeah.
What's your take on it?
I think it's going to force a situation, because if they don't deliver the food, what the working class people are saying, I don't care what you elite people think. You think you run the country. They say, if I hit the brakes on this truck in the middle of the road, we'll see who runs to town. You know, like life it stops without these truck drivers.
Yeah.
People can't get food. All of a sudden, the people who can't get food are going to be knocking on the door of the people running the city, going, "What do these truck drivers want?"
It'd be like
Why can't you give it to
sanctions.
them?
It's the equivalent of economic sanctions against.
Yeah, but the people mostly are behind these truckers. They're making them food. They're bringing it out to them. They're like, most Canadians are like, thank you, truckers,
Yeah.
for finally being the group of people that stops and does something.
Yeah.
Because Canada is turning into like hell on earth in terms of like the government control over your life. Like, and once these people get more power, I mean, do you honestly still think they're going to give it back? It's been 2 years of emergency. You honestly think they're just about to give it back? They still haven't given any of the shit back that they took.
No.
Even though
you know
cases are dropping and we're all allowed to take the masks off, they haven't relinquished any of their one power. You notice that?
Well, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking life could be pretty easy. If you're willing to follow the rules, do what they say, you can eat life can be easy. I remember my friend was Iraqi and I said, man, under Saddam Hussein. I said, man, that must have been nuts living under Saddam Hussein. What was it like? So, no, life was easy. I was like, what? He said, we had a good life. And he said, listen, Iraq's great. As long as you don't talk about Saddam Hussein and you vote the right way, you live a high life. And actually, then they came in, they toppled Saddam Hussein, and now the place is a hellhole.
Yeah.
But life can be easy if you're willing to, all right, I'll just QR code in everywhere. I'll get... But it shouldn't be like that.
They say like life under a dictator can be an incredible life. Because if you get a dictator who's kind of just got a regular human amount of problems with him, like sin or whatever, then you're doing okay. But if you've got a government by committee, all of a sudden these atrocities start happening because there's diminished responsibility. You know, well, we were just doing what the government said. Well,
Communism by the back door.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And people always think, like, the people have this idealistic idea of communism where everybody's going to be acting for the greater good.
Yeah.
When has anybody ever acted for the greater good apart from somebody in some fucking 17-year-old college kid's fantasy?
Right.
You know what I mean? The great thing about capitalism is it works even if everybody's a grasping, greedy shit.
Right.
It's
Well,
like-
communism's telling you, if you follow this set of rules, everything's going to be great for everyone. You know? All you got to do is follow this set of rules. And who are the rules made by? Well, we made them. Men. We made them.
Yeah.
You have a set
we're
of
good
rules.
at making rules.
You have a set. Yeah, we can't make our own rules.
Yeah, but Leo is implying no women made the rules.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, obviously. That's
Standing up
an
for the
excellent
patriarchy.
thing to say.
Oh,
That's
I'm
an
sick of
excellent thing to
people.
say.
I'm sick of people slamming the patriarchy. Look at everything the
makes a lot
patriarchy's
of
delivered.
brilliant sense.
Everything you see, all the bridges, the railways and stuff, everything, the skyscrapers. You think women designed them and built them? Maybe a couple of it, but like mostly the oil rigs. Oh, I'd love to see women design an oil rig, crochet an oil rig. You know what I mean? Jesus. Everybody needs to just stop for a moment and say, thank you, patriarchy. You did a great job and we're going to continue with you.
Leo, you can't be a man anymore. So,
I'm
you can't.
actually transitioning to being a man.
yeah, that's the safest option.
Identify as a man.
That's the
And
safest
that's another
option.
thing. People say, I'm transitioning to being a man. No, there's a lot of things. Like even Bob Dylan said, you got to walk down these roads. You got to like have a knife fight. You got to have like be near like a crocodile.
A knife
There's loads
fight?
of stuff. Yeah, you got.
I think you're confusing that with Crocodile Dundee.
He's a man.
He is a man.
He's a man. That's made my point exactly. So Crocodile Dundee's
Paul
a man.
Hogan.
Crocodile
You need to
Dundee.
buy a fridge.
That's a good
That's
movie.
right. And when you buy a fridge, that's when you turn into a man.
Yeah.
And when you steal a fridge joke,
That's when you go back to being a little kid.
yeah.
Oh, is that
Ju-
controversy still going? Is that over?
No,
What's
that's
going on
over,
with that?
baby.
It's
Actually,
over.
I'm not allowed to.
When are you allowed to talk about it?
I'm not allowed to reveal details of the case.
When will you be allowed to reveal details of the
Well,
case?
I can just say that I'm sitting comfortably. I could say that.
Wow, congratulations for your comfortable seating position.
Thank you very much. Alistair.
I don't know what I'm legally allowed to say. Like, you know what I mean? When people start talking legally, I'm like, I ain't saying shit. Sit the fuck down and not say anything in that area. You know what I mean?
What? So what? Like Joe Rogan's been. I mean, if we're talking, everything's also tied up. So Joe Rogan this week. I mean, it's rumbled on from the Paul. Is it Paul Young? What's his name? The singer?
Neil Young.
Neil Young. Who's actually got. I actually listened to one of his songs. It was really good, which made it the
What
way.
song
hey,
was it?
It's like Hey Hey My My. It's a really good song.
How does it go?
Hey Hey My My.
Hey, hey, my man.
No, well, I
Doesn't
can't
sound
do.
that good.
Yeah, but it's good when he does it.
It's a three-speech podcast tradition.
Karaoke.
If you name a song, you've got to sing it.
No, but my singing is like, listen, I'm so good at singing, we'll get pulled from YouTube.
'Cause they'll think it's the real
Yeah,
thing.
they think, wow, we can't have this rights issue. But suffice to say, that particular song is very good, but then I listened to some others and they were a bit rubbish.
I don't think that's by Neil Young,
Hey, hey, my, my. Yeah, it is. Is it?
How does it go?
It goes, hey, hey, my, my.
unless it's there's another song called "Hey Hey My" by Battle 'Em.
Well, I don't
Did they write it or is it cover?
Maybe.
But anyway, we've seen like a
Got a good point.
concerted effort since Spotify came out in support to really pull Rogan down. So first it was his medical misinformation, and no one gave a shit really because like,
Yeah.
fuck me. Just let us at least listen to the other side a little bit.
There's
No
been
one
so much medical misinformation from everyone because
Yeah.
no one knows what's going on.
Especially
People
the government.
Yeah. You know, you were told like the vaccine will stop transmissions. Like there's video clips of that.
Yeah.
Thank you for remembering that. Most
Yeah.
people don't fucking remember that.
Yeah.
People that have had it, they're just like, they never said that. I'm like, are you mad?
They've got video clips of it. And maybe they were speaking
The whole point, Mooch. That was the whole point. Was we got to stop everyone. You got to get this to save your elderly, blah blah blahs, and all this, right? That was the whole point of they've literally changed what the point of a vaccine is.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, I still got it, and I took the vaccine, and I'm cool with that.
But you
I'm
know
like,
what?
how are you cool with that?
But the whole point, you know what's confusing to me now, which no one actually seems to be addressing, is everyone acknowledges that if you have COVID, if you have the vaccine, you still can get and pass on COVID. So what's the point of the vaccine passport
Well,
anyway?
it reduces the severity and slightly reduces the transmissibility as well because you're less symptomatic.
But have you heard the latest one? They are now saying you might be more likely to get COVID if you've had the free vaccines.
We're definitely demonetized now.
Oh, we were
No, this is their
demonetised
official
as
story.
soon
You
as
can't get in
Alistair
trouble
was
for
on
this.
screen.
You just
You can't
cost
get in
us-
trouble for this. That's their official story.
You
Yeah,
just
but
cost
You
us.
can't get in trouble for this.
You just cost us £3.80.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you what their
that-
official story is.
That was
Surely.
that's actually over the last 28 days. So you've actually cost us about £1.50.
Listen, it's worth it. You're on the right side of history for £1.50.
I'd rather have £3.50.
I've done you a favour. That is a fucking bargain.
But what's the point if you're all just hypothetically everyone's boosted? You can still spread it and contact. So what's the point of having of the vaccine
Well,
passport?
it reduces the
I think it's because
symptoms.
it makes money.
It reduces the
There you
symptoms.
go.
Maybe.
And
There you go. That's the real.
Thank
That's
you.
the real.
well, no,
story.
like it does. It
Might-
reduces
I
the
don't know, might be wrong.
severity. If you get the vaccine and then you get coronavirus, like, I had it real bad.
Yeah, but you're a pussy.
I'm not a pussy.
Oh, I had it, and I was gigging.
Yeah, I was gigging too.
I wasn't really.
I was gigging and I was deeply infectious.
Oh, look who it is.
Well.
Hey, 43 minutes later, the Belgian sensation is Royal Rumbling. He's turned up. Here he is.
This is an odd Royal Rumble.
Right in time. Here he comes. Welcome, Nico. Nico, we're just talking about the classic. And let's move on from the thing, but let's go back to Rogan. Let's keep on
Oh
track.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about Rogan.
So they've gone.
Rogan.
They came after him for medical misinformation, and now they've just taken quotes where he's just been dropping the M-bomb left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
Because that's like the
Where does this go?
the worst crime you can
They
make
sniped
after.
this guy, man. They
Yeah.
sniped him. Someone put together the video of all videos.
Someone,
Oh, yeah. Well, you see the thread on that on Twitter?
Darius is.
I've seen it, but explain for our listeners.
Okay, so someone actually broke down that they showed you, like, look, this was a direct political attack on Joe Rogan, and here's why I know.
Testing.
It's a great
Yeah,
thread. You can find it on Twitter, and they sort of walk you back and go, listen, this is deliberate. You can tell because it's in threes, the guy said. He said, you notice that they came from Rogan on this, and they came from on this, and they came from that. And someone is actually out there taking credit. This organisation, I can't remember what they're called, but they're
So-
basically...
Marilli's super PAC.
Right.
And it's a
yeah,
Democratic-
So it's politically funded.
Democratic super PAC.
Yes.
So the people who released the video of Joe Rogan dropping M-bombs was like called the Patriot thing, and they're closely linked with what are the brothers called? The Marilli brothers or something.
Something like that. I've got. It's really quite interesting because I don't know if you're familiar with Barstool Sports.
I am.
So it's a big American sort of sports and lifestyle brand. Huge thing in America. Their sort of boss, El Presidente, I've forgotten his name. He got
Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy got embroiled in some sort of racial things. He got caught saying the N-word as well. He's missed the receipts. He's got everything. So he found out who had found this stuff and had leaked it, and it was these three brothers from this super PAC was on a YouTube live chat with them, and had receipts of one of them using it in text messages, and he revealed it on the YouTube live.
So people who called him out for being
Using the N-word
racist
had
had
been
used it
using-
themselves.
Yes.
So much. It's like with David Baddiel and David Schneider calling out Jimmy Carr for using slurring gypsies or whatever, and then they both used the term pikeys. Or David Schneider in particular was really mean about the
say
Roma
the P
people.
word.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can.
Well,
I
you're
don't know.
gonna get
Find
done
out.
now.
Yeah, yeah. Clip that out. But it was
Can't
Joe
blame me
Rogan.
now for the £1.50.
Joe Rogan. I mean, because they clipped out all the things, but then you could do the same thing with Stuart Lee. Stuart Lee's got a routine where he drops the N-bomb loads. Like, was Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan was he being malicious or was he?
There's episodes where he was talking about Richard Pryor's album title. There's episodes where he was talking about how horrible the word is. There's bits as well where
He wasn't using it in a racist way, though. He wasn't like, you know what I mean? He wasn't
No.
being like, look at this N-bomb and just chucking it out there, like, rating. You know what I mean? He wasn't being.
I think the worst
racist.
one, the worst one was the Planet of the Apes
Yeah,
one. That's the worst
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That's the one that was done.
What did he
But
say?
I haven't found any instance where he was using the N-word in a malicious way.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it where he was saying, oh, that person is a blah.
Yeah.
So the other times he was talking about what somebody said or the Richard Pryor album or whatever. But the one where it's like, ooh, is the Planet of the Apes
But-
one,
but
and he
also-
specifically apologized.
and-
for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
What was the Planet of the Apes?
So they were watching Planet of the Apes, and they went to some random movie theater in Philadelphia, and he said it's a black neighborhood, and he said it was like they were in Planet of the Apes.
Right,
and
right.
as soon as he said it afterwards, he went, "Yo, that was mad racist," but he
Yeah.
obviously cut that out of the thing. And this is one of the original pods
But
11 years ago.
Victoria was editing the podcast, and it didn't.
I actually listened to our podcast. I did it. I was driving for the first time ever. I thought I'm going to listen to it. It's actually
You was
pretty-
driving, or your wife was driving?
she was,
She was parking, that's-
She just parks, right?
Okay.
I was driving. Our podcast is really good, but I've noticed because we never listened to it that every time we told him to edit, he's not edited
Yeah, that's
anything
what I
out ever.
Ever.
Everything's in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I respect this guy so much.
He's only done one clip over the last
Yeah, he's
fortnight.
apologised, yeah.
When do we get
The new guy's coming
New
in.
guy.
This month.
this month?
Oh, so funny. So every week you've been saying like, "I'll cut that out. I'm feeling all scared," and he's going, "Oh yeah. I'll cut it. I'll stay till 12," and then just leaving them all in.
Yeah.
And because we don't listen, it's like
Yeah.
Oh, you can't blame
Delighted
him.
us
He's
never
like,
listening to
you
it.
guys ain't even listening. You think I'm cutting shit out?
I'm listening now though. It's good. It's a good podcast.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I was very good on
funny.
it.
That's so funny. Well done, that guy.
I learned that Mooch had to turn the volume up in the videos when we Googled.
Wait, is my mic on, Mooch? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
loud
you.
and clear.
Okay, cool.
Okay, like you sound a bit quieter in your headphones. It's just something natural.
Yeah.
I don't know why it happens.
The
but
voices in my head.
I hear voices.
in your head.
They talk.
So
to
what
me.
y'all discussed so far? Rogan and who else?
The truckers.
Convoy
Canadian truckers.
GoFundMe.
How the
They getting back the money?
They're getting refunded.
It's been they GoFundMe and now just automatically refunding because everyone was issuing charges back and then they were about to start a GoFundMe for GoFundMe, but now they've raised 2 million on another platform.
It might be better for podcast listeners if we don't go over the same stories and talk about the exact same stuff.
Well, it's not my fault Nico turns up.
Yeah.
late.
Well, we've got other stories
All
we
right,
can talk
Mr. Hate
about.
Crime Bill.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, they're bringing through new hate crime bills as well.
You know Hamza Youssef.
The SNP, an
God.
SNP
Here we
minister.
go.
Listen to
Julie
this.
McKenzie.
Yeah, hey, what? How, I couldn't even fucking remember her name. Well done, Councillor Julie McKenzie.
Lawn and Oban.
She,
What's that
she
on your
said-
hand, Leo?
She said that. I
That's
don't know
that's
what
the
the
new
fuck.
virus.
I need to get that cut off. It's ever since I sat in that toilet seat.
Yeah.
But basically, this SNP politician said she wanted to prosecute not just Jimmy Carr, but also the audience.
yeah, that was
she wanted to
crazy.
prosecute the audience for laughing.
Can you
So now-
pull up the tweet?
Yeah, I'll
It's
pull
not
it up.
even. The tweet's like
on your-
it's hidden. But yeah, I've screenshotted it on my Twitter.
But it's like that thing we posted where the man said that to stop the pandemic, people should have to take morality medication.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That is insane. Even if he's just like, just thinking out the box.
Yeah.
That's an insane thought to
Yeah.
have, and to even type it out and put it in Forbes.
Yeah, but,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But good luck with that. If they're not going to take a vaccine, they're not going to take your morality medicine.
No,
Hey,
but this is
Yeah,
what's
but it'll
going to
be
happen.
mandated.
Yeah, it'll be
yeah, but the vaccine's
mandated.
mandated.
No. When they start cutting off your card, just like in China, and say, "Oh, you can't travel," and your bank card or your travel card shut down, then you'll be like, "Fuck it, I gotta take this thing."
What is
that's
morality medication?
It's basically it just makes you more compliable.
Yeah.
Right, more compliant.
Oh, what could
Fucking hell.
possibly go wrong?
Like that's what the society needs.
What could possibly go wrong?
Jeez,
Take your compliability pill, guys. Go along with.
you're
It's
so
gonna be great.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Brave new world, man.
Yeah.
Oh, they're after us.
Why? So what else? We've just gone silent.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they're telling what there's a
So
story.
this is the thing. Sorry, I just read it out for you. As COVID-2 continues to kill thousands of Americans each week, bioethicist Parker blah 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 has suggested a controversial approach to battling the pandemic, namely a morality pill. Specifically, he suggests that widespread administration of psychoactive drugs could provide moral enhancement that would make people more likely to adhere to social norms such as wearing masks and adhering to social distancing guidelines.
So they become drones, worker drones for the global elite.
There is no bottom to this pit.
To even
There's
come
no
up with
bottom
that.
to this pit.
You know what I mean?
There's no bottom to this pit.
And this is the
You'll
thing.
be coming up with new ones every day from now until the rest of the time if people don't fucking go, this is enough.
There was already
You know what I mean?
conspiracy theorists before, but now you show them stuff like that. Like now, Alistair's losing his mind. You know what I mean?
You're all conspiracy theorists. I'm listening to you all talk. Like you all believe things
I'm
that are
not.
ridiculous.
I've become
when
one.
you actually think it. But because this is how they've been getting away with it. Shit's so ridiculous that people go, that's fucking ridiculous. They're just out there like, we can only do shit that's ridiculous. You know? So they're just like, well, let's try and steal all their money by forcing them to have an injection. They'll never believe that.
But here's the thing.
That's how they get away with it.
Here's the
Fucking
thing.
serious.
You tell people about the Great Reset and they go, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But it's literally, they built a website with it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it because I thought, like, for months, years, I assumed I heard people talking about it, and I assumed it was some sort of conspiracy theory, World Economic Forum and stuff. Then, it's literally
It's
on
literally
their
a
fucking
website,
website.
yeah.
Like Trudeau and Angela Merkel sitting there, like all shaking hands over it. It's
Brilliant.
mental.
It's brilliant, really, if you think about it. Like,
Yeah,
the way
but
they're fucking with it.
there's
It's
that
brilliant. It's
theory
amazing.
that when you're in the occult or anything the devil wants to do, he has to state it in the open before he
Of
does
course. Oh, yeah. He can't do anything that you don't empower him to do.
yeah.
It's like you have to choose. But people can
Has to be
choose to live in
stated.
hell on this earth. You're watching it happen. You're watching people be like, okay, I ain't going to do anything as they start doing this, and I'm not going to say nothing. It's like, that's a choice. You
People
have to
just
say,
want
no,
an
that's some
easy
fucked
life,
up
though.
shit. But that's what these truckers are doing. They're just parking and going, nah, we're not driving this society. We're not moving the stuff from A to B in this society. Change.
No, that statement Kanye had made when he got into trouble, this is where it should have been applied. And no one could have any arguments
mean?
against it. When he said slavery is a choice. This, what's happening now, this is when he should have said that. Slavery is a choice.
yeah.
And people just sleepwalking into it like, yeah, it'll be fine. They think the government and these companies looking after them.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's the
Crazy.
maddest thing. That is the maddest. In China,
I mean,
you can
just,
see it's.
all you need to do is read 2 history books and you will realize, listen, every fucking atrocity or anything that happened, the government was behind it.
Yeah.
Whether it be slavery, not letting women drive, or whatever it was, whatever oppression, it was state mandated.
Yeah.
They're totally spinning what Kanye says, right? This is either the crime is either when he said like slavery is a choice, he wasn't saying and what they said he was saying. He was saying like if you think you are beneath these people, you're wrong. He's saying you're not their slave. I'm in front of these people. Look at the life that I have. Look at what I've done. You know, he was saying to people, you're not slaves now. And they spun it into Kanye West doesn't think that slaves were in America or some shit like that. You know, they completely spun it around.
It's interesting the thing about all atrocities being state mandated, because even things like terrorist attacks that you think are just the act of individuals or complete ideologues or whatever. So Saudi Arabia funds Wahhabist, basically madrasas in the UK. So schools where people get radicalized and then they commit this stuff. So it's
Good use of words. That's usually me. They get radicalized and
Brain fart.
I made the mistake of looking at Darius. And like, you know when you look at
And
somebody,
you don't want to get accused of being
No, you know-
racist again.
when you look at someone.
Yeah.
You know when you look at someone and they're not paying any attention to you, and it totally throws you. Darius just like looking off into space. I'm like,
Stumbling block. You look to someone for acknowledgement and they're just like, I've lost the room. You just wobble in there.
don't look at me for support. Or your jihadist.
no, just listening
I am listening.
and looking over.
Vacantly listening.
Yeah.
I'm vacantly listening. I didn't take my Alvance this morning. That's why.
They used
Do
to
you take
teach you that.
Alvance every day?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I forgot it. I've
What's
left
that?
it. Alvance is
Oh
the
man,
ADHD,
it's amazing.
prescription
ADHD
drug that-
medication.
Right.
How you get some now?
I can't. Darius gave me some.
No,
and now
I
don't
didn't.
have
It's
it.
prescribed drugs.
Yeah, it's Darius, but I got some. And like, I need to get some more because like those 2
I tell you,
days.
bring some for me.
I didn't have it. Don't give it away.
Those 2 days were the most
Bring it tomorrow.
productive days I've ever had. It luckily just coincided with my tax return deadline. But I was so productive. And like, it was like, when you do cocaine
Were you funny?
Yeah,
on
it wasn't like modafinil. It doesn't stop you being funny. I mean, I didn't like try doing a gig or anything, but I think I could have done a gig. Modafinil makes you very automaton and you're not funny.
Yeah.
This didn't
It's-
feel like that. I wrote some stuff that was funny.
It's slow release. It just focuses you, and it keeps you from having that tiredness in your head where you got that brain fog.
And that fuzz, just that sort
Yeah,
of fuzz that you can't
clarify.
back. You sit down to work and you just fucking can't. You know what I mean? Because you don't have a deadline. You don't have anybody like on you. Like, And it's just like you've got a deadline. It's amazing.
It's a pill that just stops all that.
Yeah.
I'm so skeptical.
You've all
Not
got-
because it won't
Yeah,
work.
it just makes
I'm
you
sure it will
comply
work.
with everything.
It's just like, what's your fucking game? Why have you made this pill? Why am I being offered access to it? You know what I mean? I'm like, what's the fucking win for you? You're just going to make my life better? Let me just check this fucking pill out.
It's like a small amount of cocaine over a whole day.
Right. Thank you. Thank
Slow
you.
release
There's
cocaine.
the chink in the armor. It's like a small amount of cocaine for the entire day. Gotcha. I'm not sure that's such a great move for me.
Called an 8-ball of cocaine.
Well,
Do you have trouble sleeping when you've taken it?
Well, the thing is, I always sleep
I haven't
terribly
slept
anyway.
since.
I always sleep,
Yeah, just grabs you by the neck. Shut the fuck up, Leo.
I always sleep terribly.
Truckers
so it
take
doesn't
it to
make any
drive as well.
difference. Not really. I don't think it's ruined my sleep.
Right.
I don't think so. I'm just
Why do
trying
you
to,
sleep terribly?
I just never really
The
sleep.
things he's done.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah, that's a life of
It's
woe.
sense. It's sense.
Well, we got that story about the. This is in Finsbury Park.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
wait, let's
Oh, yeah.
stay on Rogan being offered 100 million from Rumble.
Right.
What do we
Do
think?
Rumble have 100 million?
They'll have some back or
Some
something.
guys
Some-
give them.
Yeah.
I
Because
guess it-
they haven't offered us
Mate,
anything.
Well, maybe we should offer Rogan. We should offer Rogan 200 million
Just want to come on the pod.
because he's not going to say yes, so we
Yeah.
won't have to pay.
Oh, this is what Paris Saint-Germain, this is what Real Madrid did when they were trying to buy Mbappe. They went, here's 250 million to appease their fans. They didn't have it.
Yeah.
they were just, and they knew PSG were going to say no, but it made them look like the big boys.
Right.
So let's,
But then they
let-
did say no.
Oh, what
Yeah,
about
they
Kurt
did.
Zouma kicking the cat?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea
That's-
should be docked points for that.
Well, he plays for West Ham.
I don't care. He came from Chelsea.
So,
They
so,
should be docked.
so there's video of
Nice
him
try.
kicking the cat.
yeah.
Let's see it.
Whoa.
Give me a second.
Oh,
Not
and
very
it's a
nice.
and
It's
it's
really
a
not-
proper, like.
He
and it's-
slaps
it's just
it. He
nasty.
slaps that pussy.
Yeah, and
He's
he's like,
nasty.
"Oh,
Like-
it's the first time I've ever done it." Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Oh, do you see the statement he put out was so obviously written by a PR agency. It was hilarious.
No, but like, I got a joke for this. Play that thing. Let me
I
see
got a
it.
joke for it.
Let me see this thing.
This is the one that will get us cancelled because people hate it when you're
yeah,
mean
yeah.
to cats.
Okay.
Oh
so-
yeah, no, we're not saying it's good. We're saying it's horrible.
Yeah, here it is.
Sacco
Sun exclusive.
Boom.
I mean, that's a proper.
That's
boot.
nasty,
Yeah,
man. That
that's
is really
mean.
fucking nasty.
Nice tiles, though.
How's this video leaked?
He put it on Snapchat.
He
or
put
something.
it up himself.
What?
That's how thick he is. He like
No, this is this is a cultural thing, right?
What do you mean?
I'm gonna tell you now, man. Watch it.
Because in Barbados, we
What's
have
it?
the annual cat kicking competition.
He's from Lyon,
I wasn't
France.
Oh.
I wasn't
Yeah, he's
expecting you to
dead
side
nasty.
with the person hitting the
He's
cat
doing it in
the
front of
other thing.
kids. Is that kids there? So they're
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
grow up
yeah.
brutalizing
He was
animals. It's
literally
horrible.
acting out. There's more than one way to skin a cat or
Wait,
to
what?
swing a cat.
Wait,
or
what?
some shit.
Is
But
this your
no.
joke?
Nico,
No.
Nico
I
tried to do
I
it.
urge you to try
Alright,
that joke
so-
on stage.
Are you on modafinil?
Check this out. Right, so my man did that, right? And Barbados is animals have no rights. In Barbados. Like in the Caribbean, animals got no rights. So a man from Barbados messaged me and said, "Bro, the UK is mad. Imagine if they see how we treat the pets in the Caribbean." Because he's freaking out. He's like, "What? This man getting charged or getting?" Like, he's like, "What?" So people at home like, "What the fuck, man?" I do that to
The
my
meow
cats
too
every day.
movement.
Listen. One time, I'm not calling no names, but I see a man take a bag of kittens and just throw them in a well.
What?
Life.
Fuck.
We used to
What
watch.
circles he mixed in it?
We used to watch.
Worst
We used
Christmas
to
ever.
watch. We used to watch cockfighting
out?
as well.
Oh, we went.
Another
we went
time-
What?
Another
That's the
time.
difference. It's chickens.
Another time, some people I know, a dog get hit by a car, right?
This is
And
the Billy
not call
Connolly
it, they
joke.
get hit by a car, and they get gasoline poured on the dog and light it.
Oh
Mad.
man.
Mad. So when y'all talk, and also dogs.
Nico, stop. Please stop.
Hold on, no.
Can't believe you tried to blame me earlier for this podcast not getting on it.
But we didn't know
Why
Nico
blame me?
would come with his
No, but
RSPCA hate crime.
this is
Yeah.
this is just how it is
Because
in the
Nico,
Caribbean.
you're saying
animals-
this with like a massive smile on your
No,
face.
Yeah.
It's like, and this other time,
He's got,
I mean,
he's got
some other
cats
guy
as well. He like owns
no,
cats. I
I'm
wasn't
just
expecting
saying-
this at all for him him to just be
I'm
like,
just
yeah, I'm on
saying-
the side of the guy hitting the
He
cat.
doesn't know because he got rid of one of the cats. He got rid of one of your
saying
cats.
the culture is completely different. It's mad. Like you don't.
Yeah.
Cats are not allowed in the house in the Caribbean.
Can I
Cats
make-
or dogs are not
To
allowed
be
in the
fair,
house
to
in the
be fair,
Caribbean.
like-
Wait, can I just ask one question, right? But you treat animals with shit, right? Like shit.
Yeah.
But how do you treat people?
Tell me, how do you treat
I like
people?
are the people in Barbados. Are you like if they're sick, are they ill? Do you care for the people more? Because it strikes me that in Western countries we care for like, oh, he's kicked the cat. But if someone's posted a video of kicking a human, no one will give a fuck. Whereas in Barbados, is it more like you?
Barbadians are seen as the most thing people say about is how friendly we are.
Unless you're a cat.
Unless you're a cat.
Yeah,
You're a
but
furry.
I'm cool with that. If I'm going on holiday somewhere, I like those conditions. Friendliest country in the world, unless you're a cat, I'm like, yep, good.
But
Guess what? I'm not a cat.
Yeah.
There's that whole thing about because when I first came here and when I started doing comedy, one of the things that lady said, don't do jokes about how white people love dogs and black people don't really like dogs or something like that. That's one of the common stereotype things. And dogs. Like we had cats in Barbados that weren't allowed inside the house, and
They're for
I
catching
only
mice
knew
and stuff.
one friend in Barbados whose dog was allowed to come in the house, and their mum was white.
But the thing with
So-
Barbados is it's hot
but-
anyways. It's like the dog
so-
doesn't have to come in.
So it's not really a thing of letting your pets. And like even
Yeah.
when we got a cat here, I was like, no, he's not coming in my bed at all, blah, blah, keep him, blah, blah, blah. But now he sleeps on the bed with me. But I had to condition myself to be like, okay, the cat can come in
That's
the
a
bed.
dog
What
owner.
about-
I'd like to keep them out the house if
What
it was
about
possible.
what about when the cat shits in the litter and then like stands on the shit and then goes in your bed and goes in your pillow?
And then shit.
Yeah, I used to be totally against the cat walking around anywhere or having his stuff anywhere.
Because also they lick their anus.
Yeah,
They
I
lick their
see that.
genitals. And
Yeah.
then they like go in your bed and lick the pillow.
Yeah.
And you're fine
we
with that?
We lick genitals too, though.
And the cats don't put toilet paper down.
Yeah, actually, you can train your cat to use the toilet.
Really?
Yeah, some people.
Can you
use,
train your cat to dodge a kick?
Some people.
got time for this.
Train the cat to
got time
use
for
the
this.
toilet seat.
Really?
Yeah.
But not the flush. So you just
If it's a pull handle, there's videos of cats flushing
Really?
the toilets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mooch, is this true?
What? Like just search the internet for a cat?
No, but I mean not just like one random cat that like the dog.
Oh
that
no,
can
I think
surf.
it's like one random cat. I don't.
Oh,
think
right.
So,
It's
yeah.
not a
It's
regular-
not
I
every
never
cat.
heard of that.
No. But there's even a thing for the cats to use the toilet.
Right.
That you put down and they go and you see them.
Anyway, Kurt Zuma is in a bit of trouble.
Tackling the big issues here.
Do you remember
on the podcast. We're breaking it down live for you guys.
Do you remember that lady who put a cat in a bin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was just.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was front page news. She wouldn't even get an article, like one line in Barbados. Like,
should be celebrated.
Yeah.
Woman tidies up litter. It's just-
So like that's why it's like my girl, we'd be walking home on nights out and she would see a stray cat
Yeah.
and interact with it. And my mind would be like what the fuck is going on? This is nuts.
Yeah.
Because in Barbados you would not interact with stray cats.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? So
think
you're
it's
taught to
It's part of the whole climate change thing. You know how people are conditioned. Like, we're so wrong. We're killing the beautiful natural world. You know, it's kind of like, oh, look at the little lovely dog and the cat, and we're so terrible compared to the cats and the dogs. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's that kind of vibe, I think, in these countries where we have a lot of
I
news
just,
about
I
that
just,
kind
I
of
just
thing.
think it's we like animals more. Like we care more about the welfare and safety of animals than we do humans.
I think-
Right, but that's not normal.
No, I know, that's the point I'm trying to make.
It's the thought that animals are helpless.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
That's
vulnerable.
the thing. So
Yeah.
people, oh, all right, cool. You can sort yourself out. Whereas this tiny little kitten doesn't really know what's happening.
But
to it.
animal
Sure.
charities get a lot more money donated to them than like women's refuges and things like that.
Yeah.
I guess because as well,
pretty messed up.
Yeah, as you say, animals are helpless and they're cute as well.
Well, talking about
Women
people
aren't.
who no one cares about or who are put upon. What about Jimmy Carr's joke? That's the furor. That's
Let me just
happened.
say, because I know someone will clip that up, I was not laughing at the, at the cats being
Nico.
thrown in a
They'll
well.
cut the scene,
I
they'll
was-
cut the scene.
Hang on,
Nico's a good guy.
let me talk. I was laughing at the difference in cultural,
I just want to
standards.
say, when people clip stuff up, they don't include the bit where they
defend
clip up for a
yourself.
reason.
Yeah, yeah,
They're not going to include your little apologies. So it's
No,
completely
just to give him a
pointless.
fair chance.
I will clip my bit out then and post that.
Because with Jimmy Carr, he actually included. I don't know if you saw the Jimmy Carr joke, but he included a bit afterwards where he contextualized and explained why the joke was,
The thing was called dark humor.
Yeah, dark material.
It was a trigger warning at the start of the thing. It's crazy that
Let me ask
and
you.
you did a little article about it, didn't you, Darius?
I did a proper article in an actual publication I got paid for.
Leo wrote one for spite, then I thought I'd write a better one for no money, which is what I did.
Well, I read that one.
Yeah,
That's the advance kicking in.
Yeah, it was actually. What is? You know what happened? You passed on Talk Radio to me and BBC, and I spoke to them on the BBC. They said, "What do you think of it?" And I mentioned how everything's taken out of context. And actually, funny enough, I just said, listen, just this week we've seen Joe Rogan being taken out of context. And I was talking about the N-word.
Yeah.
And it was mental because the presenter just went crazy. Went, oh, he's been the COVID denier. I said, well, I'm not talking about that. he went proper mad, the BBC presenter. He went, no, COVID denier. I said, oh, okay, we're going to get back in the thing. But I said, we put the thing in. Anyway, but the reason why I wrote that is because I was on the train coming back and then they went, I said, listen, my Wi-Fi on this train is almost as offensive as Jimmy's jokes. So I'm not going to be able to speak to you. She went, oh, maybe you can text me your thoughts. And then the text, I thought, I might as well post it anyway. But it's like, listen, how can you be offended for that? First of all, you've got to go on to Netflix, sign into Netflix, search for Jimmy Carr's special, watch his trigger warning, and then you're like offended. No one was offended. It's just normal outrage. I mean, listen, it was a horrible joke. I get it. If you're from that community, the Gypsy Roma community, you'd be upset. It is an upsetting thing, and it is punching down. That being said, it was to raise awareness, and I'd argue he's raised more awareness for that community and their plight than has happened for the past at least 5 years.
What did he say afterwards?
He said the Holocaust. Yeah, he said no. He said the Holocaust killed millions of Jews, millions of gay people, and no one cares about the plight of the gypsies, right? No, and there are hundreds of thousands of gypsies died as well, and I remember it, and the way I remember it is by telling this horrible joke, and he has raised that awareness.
It makes society confront the fact that their indifference to the plight of the gypsies.
Yeah, completely.
Well,
Isn't there a new
again,
online...
as Mooch said, if it's clipped, it doesn't. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. So,
unless I'm wrong, isn't there a new online hate bill going through at this exact same time?
That's right. Yeah. So it's gonna deal with it deals with a lot of stuff. It deals with everything from like death threats to I think dick pics.
Oh yeah, dick pics. But I assume all sort of nudity. I don't think it's just women.
Yeah.
Not just men and women. It's like you can send.
Sexual exploitation and grooming and stuff. But yeah, it's also going to cover. They're saying it's going to cover, and also there's going to be a media bill that covers streaming sites. I think brings streaming sites under Ofcom regulations, and
they're going to make it criminal to do what I do, basically.
Well, you know what was interesting this
week? Dick pics?
No,
but they always categorise you in with that shit. And it's like, yeah, everyone agrees with dick pics, but what they'll use it for is to go after people like me. Medical misinformation. Everything that I've been kicked off YouTube for saying this is now accepted fact. But when I said it, it was medical misinformation. Now they go, okay, you got us on that one. We admit that one, right? So for someone like me, they're effective. And right at the same time, they're bringing in this bill that says, hey, we've got to stop these dangerous people online. Jimmy Carr's setting off a fucking grenade right at the same fucking time.
Then Nadine Darius. Well, it's a
what a fucking coincidence.
Yeah.
Apparently, that special was a while back, wasn't it?
Well,
it comes out in December. And then Nadine, like, who's Nadine Darius to tell me what's funny?
She's the culture secretary.
Yeah, well, I know she is, but I'm saying, who is she to tell me what's... I understand that. But who is she to tell me what's funny and what's not funny? Like, she's the arbiter of...
Oh, this is what did my nut.
Thin end of the wedge.
This is what did my nut, and all these people saying it. Everybody's describing it as alleged joke and stuff. No, it's the joke. Everybody laughed afterwards. Yeah. It was a joke told by a comedian in a comedy set. Like, it was definitely a joke.
That's not a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, it couldn't more closely match the definition of a joke. A comedian telling it, everybody laughing.
It's crazy.
What was
I could understand though why if you, especially if you were a gypsy, or traveler community person that you would be offended by.
No, it's an offensive joke, and it is punching down. I'm not condoning the joke, but I'm condoning the right to be able to say the joke. And I can understand if you're an actual gypsy, why you're offended to hear that joke. But if we start going around saying you can't joke about this, we can't talk about this, it's the thin end of the wedge before, like you said, Alistair, they'll say you can't talk about this, so now we're going to silence that. And then those laws start being used for other things. And actually, you know what's funny? I saw a video from Dapper, right? And he showed a video of this like pretty hot girl. She's waiting for the tube, and she flashes her tits, and you see these guys on the tube go, oh, and they loved it, right? And Dapper made a really salient point. He went, imagine if that was the other way around. I saw 3 hot girls on the tube, and then I flashed my dick at them. How quick would I be arrested as a paedophile and in prison? Whereas everyone's like, oh, the double standards of that girl's amazing. Well, it's because tits are amazing, but that's not the point, right? That tits are better than dicks.
I got the video here if you want to.
Okay.
Well,
he does have some cracking tits.
Well, we haven't actually seen them, but
it's to put it on YouTube. It might get taken down for pornography.
No, you don't see them.
Oh, you don't actually see them.
It's on Instagram. Do you know?
So, well, yes. But Dapper said if he done.
Waiting for a train to stop. There's some girls, young girls sitting there. Just as it's pulling off, I whipped my cock out. The girls would scream. The police would come. I'd get arrested. For indecent exposure. I'd be called a sexual predator.
You'd be on Newsnight again.
Does he say that? I'd end up on news.
Yeah, he does. He's up on Newsnight.
Did you notice Joe Rogan had exactly the same sort of black turtleneck as Dapper did when he was doing his apology for?
Is it the turtleneck of apology?
Yeah, I think so. Jade Adams has this thing, very serious black jumper, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
question: what tube stop was that?
I don't think she does it every morning. I don't think it was England. I don't think it was England.
It was not England.
That looked like Gothenburg to me. That
that lady looked far too hot to be on the tube in London.
Elizabeth line's opening soon.
I'll
yeah, what's this Elizabeth line?
It's the new Crossrail.
The Crossrail.
What is it? Where does it go from?
It goes from Woolwich to Heathrow to Reading. It splits
Tottenham Court Road.
Yeah, it goes through Tottenham Court Road.
So Reading.
It's I think it goes to Reading. It's high-speed rail, not high-speed rail. It's a railway link across London. It should have been done in 2018, I think.
So it's not a tube. It's like a sort of underground railway.
It's
like the DLR.
No, it's kind of like, you know how Heathrow Express. If it's a train, but it goes across London, only stops at certain spots. So I think it does.
Is it regular price?
I have no idea.
I bet it will be.
I don't work for TfL.
Why don't you have all the Transport for London knowledge, Mooch?
Because I'm not a cabbie.
This will be good for our Nottingham listeners.
It's the northern.
I imagine they're gripped.
You know what?
out there.
Actually, we were the number 14 most listened to podcast in Barbados.
No, we were number 1, weren't we?
At one point we were number
What?
1. Yeah, we were the
This
number
is huge.
This is huge. So Barbados.
Wait till they hear about our cat animal abuse videos. We'll be like number 1 for weeks.
That's insane. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm bringing the fans
You're
in Barbados.
famous in your.
No, it's me. Nothing to do with Nico. That's racist. Just because he's from Barb doesn't mean they love him most.
But even I did a show last night, and there's a couple who came along, really nice couple, and they said, I think they come to see you because I replaced Darius on a show last night, took his preview slot. And they said
it was a much better show.
They said, it was much better, and they said I did the fridge joke much better, and he does it. And they said they watched the podcast. They weren't fussed. They weren't bothered that you'd been replaced because it was another podcast person.
That's good.
Someone
came to my
replaceable.
Yeah, it's good. And
I thought that they were gonna say something great about the podcast.
No.
Someone came to my gig in Glasgow and they'd seen the podcast and they said they're going to buy tickets to watch you.
In other news, we've got some more. We've got some more. Not Patreon, local supporters.
What?
We've got 2 more people who've given us money before we've even set this thing up.
So what are we going to do for them?
Well, should we say thank you?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for giving us. Oh look, guess what I've got. Look what I brought. What we can give to our Patreon fans. This will be fun.
It's racist Patreon, remember. Even though I'm pretty sure 2 of the members.
It's a Leo Curse Cancel Culture Mask Special.
Yeah.
You can win these if you like and subscribe, and I'll get them sent out to you before 2024. Here you go. I did deliver the other ones eventually.
Cancel Culture. So it says Cancel Culture on it.
Snappy.
And
it says Leo Kearse on the other side.
And I've got some really cool Don't Be Shit stickers, which are actually quite cool.
They're pretty cool. You can put them on things. It says Don't Be Shit.
Yeah. I've got 4
Our
of these. Mark, they're yours.
giveaways are so trashy though. Like just you know what I mean?
You might as well not try. If you're gonna, you know what I mean?
Turn up on time, Nico.
Like be giving away homeless man goodies or some shit. Like
Homeless guy turned his nose up at that.
Actually, let's edit that bit out.
Used to
Edit
them.
that bit out. Edit that bit out.
No
Victoria.
one's
yeah,
editing
that's
nothing.
Edit that
You
Victoria.
guys have been told a lie. Everything's been
These are going to be really put in the coming years as coronavirus goes away. People are going to want face masks. What about the story about the people cutting their genitals off in Finsbury Park?
Yeah,
I haven't heard this story.
Male
Tell
genital
us.
mutilation.
what?
these brave women.
No, it was men. It was men doing it.
Not anymore.
So it was pay per view. It was like they're doing it on a internet streaming site, so you had to pay to watch it, and they were cutting their genitals off.
Their own genitals off?
Yeah, and it's a nullo subculture.
Oh, I
So-
know about nullos.
Yeah.
I read, but tell
So
us.
apparently they
Men are
cut.
voluntarily castrating themselves for a North London cult that sells footage of the procedures, reports say. Detectives arrested 7 men from a house in Finsbury Park following a raid in December and searched the place for 4 days.
And they cut it off, so they're like they end up like Guardian readers.
I'm telling you, there's no bottom to this pit, ladies and gentlemen. There's no bottom to this pit.
The procedures were allegedly screened on a
There's no bottom.
pay-per-view
There's no bottom.
adult channel that was advertised on Twitter.
Hey.
It claimed was it on? One castrated man reportedly dubbed himself the Eunuch Mater and runs a production company.
So why are they doing it? What's the purpose?
They just want to cut their genitals off.
Why?
I guess like male genitals have got a bad rap. In
I
the
mean, there's
past
people who are
decade.
into all sorts of shit online, man.
Yeah.
My guess would be demonic possession at this point. Like, that's how I would attribute that to. Like, in all seriousness. Like,
my God,
when you
Japanese-
start going in on stuff like that, it's like, that's just beyond, like...
Stop. The Japanese artist Mao Sugiyama infamously got his genitals removed before cooking and serving them to paying
Oh, yeah,
customers
yeah,
in
yeah.
2019.
And you think I'm wrong with demonic possession? They're
Oh
cooking
my
their own
God.
genitals, like...
Listen, man.
They're clearly
although
doing the
the
worst
idea of
thing that they could do, like...
Listen.
It's weird, man.
But I don't know.
Humans are gone.
No.
Humans are gone.
No, they're not.
I went to.
They're not.
They are. The humans.
This world.
This
is
isn't
what's
as bad
killing
as
it.
kicking a cat, Nico. This isn't as bad as kicking a cat. This is people.
How do you serve? What wine do you pair with balls? Like when you're serving it, do you know what I mean?
Buckfast. I think you'd have to have Buckfast, and you need half of the bottle before you get them cut off.
Well, check this out. I went to
Pinot
a
Grigio.
pub, right, to use the loo. I go in this toilet. Somebody took a shit, but they wiped and put the paper on the floor. Just put the wiped paper on the floor, and I'm like, what? The world needs to end right now. Like, what sort of savage are you? You know there's a toilet bowl
You
there
can't
because
be bothered.
the shit
You
is
can't be
actually in the
bothered.
bowl.
Yeah. That's
But
what
you
shat.
just wiped and put the. Like, do you understand how insane that is? Like,
I've been in a pub.
we live in Gotham.
I've been in a-
That's vindictive.
I've been in
That's
a-
like, eat this.
I've been in a pub toilet where they shat and missed the fucking. How can you sit in a toilet and miss the fucking bowl?
Because he's
Alcohol.
probably doing a Nico shit, like levitating a pub.
Now, I have missed the bowl one time.
Why did you miss the bowl?
But this time I was like squatting on. I was standing on the toilet seat.
On the top of the
But,
cubicle,
but
fucking, like a base jumper. Just
a Spider-Man poo.
Well, when is Jordan Peterson coming on this podcast? Next week, you reckon? The time to ask him?
He's not replying to our
Oh,
emails.
really? While your stock's high, get in there. Clip this up, send it in.
everybody shits.
How you doing in April, Jordan? Ready?
But yeah, so what were you doing?
So like, a friend told me that you can
This is how Russians shit.
stand on the bowl and squat.
That's how
Right.
they
rather
do it.
than
Right, so you don't
Yeah.
sit in the.
and the poo went.
I used to work in an office in Notting Hill, and there was an international school,
Yeah.
which was the floor above us, but there was communal toilets, and they had to put up signs saying, "Do not use the toilets. Like, don't stand on the bowl because people like because
Because
they.
Nico had been there.
Yeah, Nico.
I consider this a highbrow podcast. Alistair's
That's the
rubbing
problem,
his brow.
Darius. That's the problem. No, if you have to put up a sign that tells people, that must be happening a lot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Like with some regularity.
the toilets there are just holes in the floor, or like in Arab countries
Squat.
where they've got.
So what the hell are you supposed to do?
Well, that no, not
Sit on the
no,
hole?
You wouldn't know
in-
what you're going to do.
No, in their home countries, that's what it is. So when
Right.
they see this, they step up onto the toilet.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah,
why
yeah,
we've
yeah.
got Alistair here? Should we ask Alistair some things we might not know? So
Is this about his Wi-Fi?
Yeah, his internet upload speed.
No, we
Got
were,
some good uploads.
I
Got
asked
some
him
good
that last
speed.
time.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, is there any any stories that we might have escaped our attention that you think would be interesting to our listeners or something like that? What's on your mind at the moment?
What's on my mind
he's
at the
gonna
moment?
say right is gonna get the podcast.
Listen, this podcast was cancelled
gone,
about half
bruv.
an hour
It's
before
gone.
you came in.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about
go-
it. Don't
Yeah,
worry
go
about
for
it.
it, man.
Don't
go on,
worry about
tell
it.
us. Tell us like the big things that we should be looking for.
You might have been noticing that they're going to start asking you to take AIDS tests now. But they're going to try and normalise this.
Now, this is what I was talking about. This is what Alistair's on the podcast.
You can call this a conspiracy theory if you like, and then as it
is a
happens to you, as you
conspiracy
watch
theory.
it happen, you can tell yourself, don't worry, this is just a conspiracy theory. But they're going to start asking you to test for AIDS. You're already seeing they're doing it's National AIDS Test Week. There has never been a fucking International AIDS Test Week. There's not been one. But all of a sudden, they're like, hey, everyone, check yourself out for AIDS. All of a sudden, all these politicians, pretty soon, like Luther Vandross will be like, hey, guys, just get my AIDS test, right? They're chucking AIDS tests.
You know,
Jack.
Luther is dead.
Diabetes.
Perfect. Well, that's what you think, is it? Right? No, he is. Right? But they're going to start asking you to check for AIDS because I think a lot of people are going to start getting positive tests because I worry that some of these injections might do something to your immune system which will make the AIDS test think that you have AIDS. But
So,
really,
so your immune system's destroyed, but not from HIV.
I don't know. As you can tell, I'm not a doctor or any sort of scientist. Right? Obviously.
on this
But
podcast,
all
we
I
don't
know
care.
is I know is they're pushing AIDS right now. Okay? Dr. Fauci, who was running the whole COVID thing for Bill Gates, he is Mr. AIDS.
Yeah.
He was in charge of AIDS at the Gates Corporation, and now the vaccines he's been telling you to get all the fucking time seem like they might have something to do with fucking AIDS.
Yeah, was it you that posted a Calvin Robinson thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was
Calvin was
very
talking
Calvin's
about
been
it.
big
What
speaking
did
up
he
about
say?
shit like this.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to actually read it, but yeah, basically that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that the vaccines can have an effect on your immune system.
But AIDS was
that might
trending,
lead
wasn't
to blah
it?
blah blah.
AIDS was trending.
Well,
That's,
I know-
that's another clip that they pulled up with Joe Rogan actually, because he was talking about Peter Duesberg, who used to be, I think he was a Harvard scientist. He didn't believe that HIV caused AIDS, and there are some other prominent scientists who believe that as well. And they were saying, look at Rogan with more misinformation kind of thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but
I mean,
the inventor of the PCR test, the Kerry Mullis guy, he also didn't believe that HIV caused AIDS.
No, and he has a big rows with Fauci all the time.
Yeah.
Like he was very annoyed at how Fauci was using his tests. He said, "No, you're using my tests to manipulate things." And Fauci was always like, he said, "You can't use my test for what you're using it for, man."
Yeah, he said,
what
but
are
that's
you laughing
important.
at, Mooch?
he
I'm
said,
just laughing at a tweet just going, I wonder if people will share their positive AIDS test like they did with COVID.
Tinder status.
Like, Jess Phillips was doing it live. It's like as if you're going to do a live AIDS. Turns out I have AIDS. An unboxing video. Oh, looks like I have AIDS. I've got AIDS, guys. No one does that unless you're told. Hey, go fucking raise awareness of AIDS. And these people, they all clearly work for the same,
But now
whoever
they're
it is.
super AIDS.
But they're talking about AIDS and not HIV. They're talking about actual acquired
there's a-
immune.
yeah, but
Acquired,
there's a super
Which
AIDS
if the
out now.
if the vaccines mess with your immune system, you can see why. If you're taking this test, it might be like, oh yeah, this person, blah blah blah.
I
They
thought-
might have this because their immune systems.
I thought
rot.
the AIDS test was an HIV test.
I don't know how the
rather
AIDS
than
test
actual
works.
AIDS
I've never
test.
looked into it until today, but they're definitely pushing HIV tests, and they've definitely never done that before. You know, Like we're all fucking adults here.
When it first came out,
Well, we're
they
in
used to
Vauxhall,
push
so
it.
maybe
Right.
it might be
But now-
different.
Right, back
But
when
now,
Fauci
yeah.
was working on it, it was in the public eye. All of a sudden now, they're like, hey, well, let's all just get tested for AIDS like we always do. It's like, we never got tested for AIDS. Are you crazy? Like, what have you done to us now? It's I'm like, what have you done? We need to take AIDS tests? Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, let's say conspiracy theory and this all goes away. But, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Right. Yeah, look out for that. Look out for
So we're
look
looking
out for the rise in AIDS.
Rise in
That's
AIDS.
coming
What-
to you live,
Well, they're
2022.
saying for the first time, like heterosexual AIDS cases have overtaken.
Oh, everyone gets AIDS now. AIDS is everywhere now, guys.
But they've
don't
got
worry,
PrEP.
it's all normal.
I thought PrEP was meant to stop AIDS.
What's
Yeah, I
PrEP?
thought it had all like.
Oh no, they've got an AIDS vaccine coming. That's the good news I didn't give you. There's an AIDS vaccine. They've just had it approved. Wouldn't you know? Shiver me timbers. There's a new AIDS vaccine just approved.
Yeah.
What other stuff do we need to look out for?
How much more do you need?
Well,
You've got to
well,
avoid
yeah,
the
well,
AIDS
we
vaccine.
need
I'm giving you a big breaking
another
story
10
here.
minutes of stuff would be great.
How long have we done, Mooch?
An hour and 7 minutes.
We've got
I've
some- we've got
I've
some
a
other
Royal
stuff.
Rumble in a minute.
We've got some other stuff in the doc.
No, I think we.
Chinese tennis star says she wasn't sexually assaulted, but does test positive for AIDS.
Well, this that was quite interesting. There's also the police WhatsApp messages. So, you know, the police are getting slammed. This is another thing like the Jimmy Carr joke. Because I think a lot of people are saying, oh, this Jimmy Carr joke is so offensive. But if they were actually in the audience, they would have laughed because they didn't know they were supposed to be offended and they're seeing it in the context of comedy and as opposed to reading it in like a newspaper. But yeah, this the police WhatsApp message. Because you know, in WhatsApp groups, you say like, you know, just vile, ridiculous
Yeah.
stuff.
I
It'd be
don't.
funny because it's funny.
Not me.
Darius is the worst. Darius is the worst for it.
don't.
They're all going to be made public. But yeah, the police have had to apologise because all these. I mean, I guess like there's more of a reason because Wayne Cousins was an acting police officer and he murdered Sarah Everhart. It was really horrible murder.
Oh yeah.
It sounds good when you say it. Like murdered.
How did the police never get in trouble? for that?
So go ahead. What Leo?
Yeah,
You talking
Mitch-
about jokes or something?
Mooch, do you want to read what
Shall I
some of
read
the
these
things
out?
are?
If you ever slapped your missus, it makes him love you more. Seriously, since I did it, she won't leave me alone. Now I know why these daft cunts are getting murdered by their spastic boyfriends. Knock a bird out and she will love you. Human nature.
So who's this? Who's
This
saying
is the
this?
This
police
is officer
WhatsApp.
number 1 and officer number 2, LMAO.
He's an open mic comedian.
Sounds like it.
Here's how the police referred to the public. Just walk past the big mosque and all the fanatics turn up to radicalize the young Muslims. Some uniforms or plainclothes work on Somalian rats. I battered one once the other day, weighed less than police officer's name. I mean, it's everything.
But one was a joke or something about.
Yeah, read out the funny ones
First
instead of the
one.
actual
I'm
just nasty
starting at
racist
the
ones.
top one.
Nah,
so,
that
like,
wasn't the top, Mooch. Go scroll up, man. You missed it.
That was
Some
the top
funny
one.
ones.
Yeah, there was a one. How do you get your girlfriend to do something?
Yeah. That's a bit further down.
Because I was
This is
thinking
the
like we could
police
read them
being
out and
just horrible? Is
they'd
that
be
what it is?
funny.
Yeah,
but
basically.
actually reading them out and they're horrible.
Just like,
Yeah, they are horrible. They're not funny.
Mooch got to work on his delivery. that's what he needs
how
to
you
do.
tell them.
Yeah. Mooch, is this your new set?
It's my old set. This is the gold.
But here's the thing: what people gotta realize, a policeman is just a regular person. There's no inherent moral superiority of policemen. You think of them as, oh, this is this, but that's just a person who wanted a job
Yeah.
and was like, fuck it. How can I get some work? Let me go in here and I get work and a bit of power. It's just a regular person. So
Although somebody
what
wants
I
some
mean?
power. Which
We should be getting people better than this stuff.
you
know what I'm saying? It's just
I
like-
know,
But
I know,
look,
totally.
look,
but
look,
I'm
Like you
the
got
job.
these guys in there. These are not
the
good
job.
guys.
Look at the job. Who wants to be a
Yeah.
fucking policeman?
Some of the
I
best
do.
people in the world, I would think, would be like, I want to
No, but-
sacrifice myself for the good of the community. We used to respect our police officers.
you know,
Back
yeah.
in the good times, we used to respect our police officers in the area. You knew who your police officer was, and you know they were respected.
No one likes police, and they're
No.
not paid very much money. Who wants to be a
Right,
police officer?
Right.
But that
And-
started when they made drugs illegal, and it became the police versus you. Before that, the police were just getting the murderers and the rape, and everyone loved the police. Now,
I found the jokey one. If you want to go for it, this is the police force that Wayne Cousins. This is how an officer joked about
now
getting.
you're making the joke not funny.
Just read the joke, Mooch.
but yeah, but try and deliver it.
Getting a woman into bed is like spreading butter. It can be done with a bit of effort using a credit card, but it's quicker and easier if you just use a knife.
I know you're supposed to go, am I right, ladies?
I don't condone that joke.
I thought it was really that was in poor taste, Mooch.
Well, luckily
you should
they
be
can't clip
cancelled.
this up because it's just my voice. So
Well, it's lucky. It's lucky none of us had our lips moving at the same time. Get it done.
If you would go to an open mic, though, you'd hear 5 or 6 of those. Like, you know,
Yeah,
like when
yeah,
people
yeah.
are doing their first show, some people they do 5 minutes
yeah.
of just that.
Open mics, yeah.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Lions, then you would get.
Oh yeah,
10
yeah. You get some autistic guy come along and just come out with the most horrific misogynist stuff. Like, man, it's so funny. It's my favorite thing to do, to go to like be on an open mic like that. We used to go
never
to
go
Lions
back.
Den.
You'd
Yeah.
never go back. Just the
Randy-
waiting is the worst thing. It's like
it's
you've got to
the
sit
worst,
through all
right?
these fucking terrible people. How do you get better listening to that?
I don't know. I'm trying to do loads of gigs at the moment, and I
Yeah.
did this thing called Jollies at the George, and I was the 27th comedian on of the 28. Look, I just
But
come. I
much
had-
you own a comedy club.
Yeah, I did. I did
Why are you
gigs
doing
here.
that?
I did a gig here, then I did a gig somewhere else, and then I went
Yeah.
to there.
Oh, that's respect.
And it was.
Why didn't you just gig here for 20 minutes?
I did. No, I did. I did a set here, and then I went and did one in Hoxton, and then when I did another one, you could just test it out different audiences.
Nice.
Called hard work,
Yeah. 100%.
and spot 27 was very hard work.
Fuck yeah.
This man owns
Yeah.
a comedy club. I wouldn't be gigging nowhere else.
No, you got to get the maximum amount.
I'll just.
Do more
And
gigs.
sometimes you do
Like I
learn
can't
being
do the
shit.
same gig here to the same audience.
Why
Hey.
not? Inky Jones does it.
What?
Does
like,
he still gig?
I don't know. Like, that's what he did.
I'm gonna have to Royal Rumble this and leave you because I've got to go do the.
Oh, he's going to
Persian.
say goodbye. Nobody else. You always say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm gonna say goodbye.
What? And then we just
You
cut it
seem
on to the end.
distracted for the past 20 minutes
Who,
anyways.
me?
Yeah. Like,
You
Coming
listen.
from you,
How
you took a
dare
phone
you?
call last week in the pod. He actually picked up the phone and was talking.
And then you turned up late today, 45 minutes late.
I said
He was
let's
being
start at
distracted.
4:30.
He was being distracted before then as well, but you just didn't see it because you weren't here.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know, it's because I didn't have Al Vance today. I'm tired. And now I've got to do a show.
Fucking princess.
Are you doing Top Secret now?
Yeah.
A preview.
Well, I'm doing this Persian comedy show that
How
I
much
said,
money are you getting for
Well, however much we can beg, but I can't be
it? Is it
bothered.
bucket?
Well, I guess so.
Who's
unless-
on it?
Pat Monahan, who's quite good.
You fucked yourself
else?
here.
And who else is on, Darius?
Pardon?
Who else you fucked
I'm on.
yourself here?
Jody should be on. He's
Yeah, he should be on.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Who
not
should
on.
be
He's
on?
not on.
Jody
Jody
Kamali.
Kamali. He's brilliant.
I don't know.
He's funny. It's not
What
like
become
a real...
of Samuel? I miss Samuel.
Samuel
the
actor.
Joker?
Yeah, Samuel the Joker. What
Wait, he's
become of
not
him?
Iranian.
Still on Instagram, but he's definitely not
I
Iranian.
know, but
He's a Man U fan. Samuel D. Joker.
he's a funny guy, man.
If you don't know, well, you won't know. Why would you know? So basically,
Funny, man.
I'm gonna write a book called "Went Gig No Shoe," right? And it's gonna be about all the open mic comedians
That
that
guy
I
was
saw
funny, though.
during my career on the open mic thing. But Samuel D. Joker was an Arsenal fan, loyal, and then Arsenal just did rubbish. Like, it came third one season, and he instantly switched allegiance to Man United in a blaze of glory. Got all the kits and everything. I'm a Man United fan now. They then went on and won the league, and then since then they've gone rubbish. So now every now and then he's threatening to ditch Man United as well. But he's very funny.
Who else is on the show?
He did a joke one time.
Who else?
He
I gotta
said-
go.
Who's on it?
What are you talking about?
Who else is on the show?
I don't know. What
Are you
talking about.
hosting?
You remember that
Yeah.
Samuel joke though?
What was it?
When he said he went to chat to a girl at primary school, and the girls were proper, like, you know, very forward, and she goes, "I don't like you. Your head looks like a yam."
I could pull the lineup up.
I don't get it. Yeah, who else is on the lineup?
It's a visual
It's just
joke.
me and-
You know what a yam looks like?
It's me.
Yeah, isn't it long?
Anishka's on it.
Isn't it long?
It's a it's a earth root.
Yeah, like a carrot.
It's just a visual joke.
Maybe this wasn't our greatest ever podcast.
No, I think this is good, man.
Was it? All right, maybe this is our
we
greatest.
I
still-
think it's about to get better. Come on.
Listen, if I'm going to listen to this, I swear to God, if you talk bad about me.
We're gonna talk.
Yeah, we'll edit it out.
Yeah. We'll see you later.
Bye, free. Thanks,
You just
thanks
like,
for coming on, Alistair.
You're welcome. It's
Can
fun.
you just quietly leave instead of like crashing around, putting your jacket on and stuff?
No.
I'm trying to like smooth continuity.
Check out that bit I did about cats though.
That's definitely not.
I can't believe you were siding with a cat beater. That's
No, I'm
crazy.
not saying. I'm saying
No,
that.
you even took an angle that could be construed as. That shocked me.
Ha ha ha! In Barbados, we all did this. Ha, ha, ha.
I never said we all did this. I said
Every
I saw.
Christmas we just take a sack of kittens and just throw them down the well. It's our little tradition that we do.
I said I saw. I said I saw. I never said I did it. I've seen things.
12 days of Christmas.
I've seen a turtle get murdered.
I didn't get murdered.
Fucking hell, a sea turtle as well, man.
Oh, they're big.
Who murders one of them?
A majestic creature.
Yeah.
One of the most majestic creatures ever. It's the most shocking thing I've ever seen.
What? How did they?
I'm
What?
switching off at this point. There's no one left.
Yeah,
There's no one left now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hear the sea
How
turtle
did
be
they murder
destroyed.
Rumble are going to
horribly.
kick us off.
Oh, jeez.
We get kicked off Rumble.
Cool, who wouldn't want to hear this story, Nico?
Yeah. No, I was in Martinique, and you heard it screaming. It sounded
Oh,
like
man.
Yeah, let's not talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I can't believe you were like, wait, let me just tell you this one detail.
So should I not pull up the video?
Oh.
I can't understand the mentality of somebody who do that.
It's
I think
crazy.
they
then
eat it.
look
I'm
at
sure
what
somebody's
happens.
eating the turtle.
Oh yeah, but you can just kill it. Nice. I've shot and killed loads of animals, but you just
Oh,
kill
God, this is-
Loads.
No, you kill them humanely. Yeah, my dad's a gunsmith. I grew up hunting and
Nice.
shooting and stuff.
Cool.
You just shoot them, and like you shoot them, it's a clean shot, and
Yeah.
they die, and then you eat them.
But I
Right
don't know
between
if
the
you know
eyes.
the anatomy of a turtle. It's a lot of shell. So I think
shoot it in the head, stab
Well,
it.
I don't think the
I've
head
heard
was
that.
poking
I've heard
out.
that.
Was
Cut his head-
that's a tortoise, isn't it?
Cut his head off.
Yeah, this episode is done, man. This
Then you
can't
can
talk
eat
about
it.
killing animals.
I think it's niche. I think if it's niche, this could find an audience, this one.
But what I was gonna say is, is it Norway or Denmark where they kill the whales or the dolphins?
I ate
One of-
whale in Norway.
And
Which one
Japan.
is-
Japan.
And
Norway.
It's Japan, and also
Japan.
one of the Scandinavian countries.
Definitely
they,
Norway because I ate whale there.
Yeah, they stab the whales in the head,
Yeah.
and it's a yearly thing as well.
Yeah, but if that's your thing, if you're from Norway and you know
And-
those people out in the boats,
Yeah.
they were how old and then now we can't.
That's how
you pieces of shit! Like that's so wrong.
I
Like,
think,
you know what I mean?
And I think there's an argument to be
Exactly.
made.
So why can't we
No,
kick
but
the
it's-
cats?
In Australia, they hunt cats because
Yeah.
cats are
They're bad for the environment.
They're a species that's not natural. They just decimate the wildlife.
In this
Fine.
country as well, they kill millions of birds,
Right.
of birds and
But you
rodents
can't.
and
You
stuff.
can hunt cats in Australia. You can't do it here. You know what I mean? You can't just start being
But
like,
I
okay.
think-
Oh, remember there was the Croydon cat killer. You remember that?
Yeah.
There's
You're a
the Croydon
serial killer if you
Zuma.
start hunting
Yeah.
cats here.
He was Zuma just booting cats around.
Oh, do you reckon that could be the story? Oh yeah, he's got to be looked at this after this evidence has come to light. Like, where were you on the
He
evening?
used to play in South
You
London.
remember that? The
Yeah,
Croydon
yeah.
cat killer. And
Mr.
yeah,
Zouma.
we wouldn't let, because one of our cats used to go outside, and then my wife started letting it go outside after she read about the Croydon
What?
cat killer. Because we were down by South Norwood. We were in like South Norwood, Crystal Palace area. And she stopped. You know, it's like
Yeah.
a movie when you're, ooh, there's a serial killer in town. Better not go outside. He's like, come on, Jasper, come in.
Jasper's
Oh my god! Yeah, that story probably devastated all these like old ladies that are just at home with their cats or whatever. They were probably just like in the karate stance for like years. It's like the cat killers out there, you know.
But
messed up.
I think eating whales is more ethical than eating cows because like if you kill a whale,
Yeah,
whales are enormous. A whale feed a whole town.
I thought he was
Like,
gonna
you-
say,
you
killing
same amount of
whales
meat.
is more ethical than killing cats.
No,
I
the
thought
same
that's
amount
what
of
he was
meat.
gonna
The
say.
same amount of meat you'd need to kill loads of cats.
Yeah.
Millions, loads of cows or cats,
All cats.
Yeah,
they
but-
eat puffin as well in Iceland. Apparently, it's delicious.
and they'd put it in sacks and stuff and ferment it.
You can't tell the Norwegians. You can't tell the Viking. You listen. You can't fish in the sea. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you. I'm a Viking from Norway. I can't fish in the sea. I'm fishing the big sea monster to them.
Yeah.
That's their whole like tradition. You can't just turn around now and be like, oh, everyone in Norway has to stop.
Do they sell
doing-
hamburgers in India?
Because they're made from cows.
Yeah.
Maybe
McDonald's
like
just
some,
not.
'cause not,
No, don't they have some
not
problem
everybody's
with
a
that
Hindu
or something?
Not everybody's a
Isn't there
Hindu.
some-
So
maybe-
they do sell it. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe
I'm-
Hindu.
What's the
They
country
must
where
do.
the cows are holy? Was
Yeah,
that
India.
Yeah, that's India. That's
Right.
it. Yeah.
That's mad.
But I think it's just if you're Hindu.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But if a lot of them are,
So
and,
wait.
and McDonald's is kind of.
What's the significance of the cow?
Wait,
to the
hang
Hindu
on.
people?
Do Buddhists eat meat?
I don't
Or
think
no?
so. I don't think
think
so.
Buddhists eat meat either.
How does a cow get up there at the top of the
Did
tree?
I ever tell you about when I was tripping and I saw some people fishing?
No.
You did, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did,
but it's a true story. So I was tripping with my ex-girlfriend when I lived in Canada. And we were walking around the seawall in Vancouver at night, and it was like it's
hang on.
beautiful and stuff.
Not to think, but you did this
Yeah, you did
2
tell us
episodes ago.
Oh right,
No,
right.
it was a
I
while ago.
I was asking if I told you.
No, you
I told you.
have. It's a great
I'll
story.
watch that episode. I'll find out for myself. It'll be better the first time. No problem.
No, but Gandhi was saying that you can tell a lot about civilization
By how they kick their
by how
cats.
they treat their pets or how they treat the animals. And then turns out he was racist.
Oh yeah. Also, didn't he sleep? He slept with like 14-year-old girls, and he said he said
he
as
was
an excuse
doing it to test himself.
test his dick strength.
No,
Like-
not to to test if he could
moral.
resist the
You know what?
temptation.
Yeah. How about just resist it by not sleeping with 14-year-old girls? That'd be a more convincing
just
way.
on
Oh
the-
yes, McDonald's brought out the Big Mac chicken.
Oh yeah,
the
that's
chicken
funny.
Big Mac.
I don't think
What?
they sell. I don't think they.
I
sell
had it
beef
last
burger.
night.
What's
Is
it
it
saying?
nice?
What's it saying?
It's not. It's
No.
not.
And is it like is
Nah,
it breaded?
not having that.
They're using the chicken burger patty thing rather than like the breaded breast type thing like that
Right,
you would get
right.
in
It's the
KFC
tempura
or
thing.
whatnot.
Look,
Right.
it's
So it's processed like mint.
Yeah,
Pure-
it's like
it is. What the secret is, you need to order it without gherkin because gherkin in chicken doesn't work. Like
No, it's the patty that's the problem. If they had
What's
used
the problem with the patty?
if they had used like like chicken selects or
Yeah.
or
Breaded
the
chicken.
zing
Yeah.
the
It's
zinger
not breaded
burger.
chicken, it's
no,
like
it's
just-
it's like one large chicken nugget then.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like that.
What?
Like yeah.
It'll be like pink goo.
That's
Yeah.
the problem because beef
Yeah.
burgers they look
Pink
like
goo.
normal. Like if you're gonna have a chicken burger, it needs to be like a piece of chicken. That
Yeah.
you recognize.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
A piece of chicken.
Right,
Telling me
so-
it's not that.
No, it's not that.
Of course, it's not that. No,
So
I'm not
it's
ordering
pureed,
that.
Yeah.
pureed anuses
Oh, so pureed chicken formed into like a circle.
with bread
Yeah.
round it.
Nah, no thanks.
It was delicious.
What really? Was it?
I mean, it's fine. It's like hey, look. If
It
you,
would have
if-
been better if they used like chicken selects, that type of thing in the burger.
Yeah.
Look, it's a McDonald's burger. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, you're not. It's not. What are you expecting?
No, but I'm saying it could be better because they have made stuff before. Like they did a jerk chicken thing one time.
They do
Obviously,
something called
it
the
was
McRib, which is supposed to be ribs in a burger. So, and which is just
Some people like that. McRib.
It
Yeah,
probably
that-
is nice.
Oh, that
It
was
probably
massive
tastes-
back in the day
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Americans. Yeah, that was.
What I want
They
to
took
do,
that
there's
off
a
the menu.
Popeyes chicken here now, and apparently
Where?
in Stratford.
Okay.
And apparently
Shit.
the sandwich is insane.
No, I'm gonna tell you the best chicken place.
Go ahead.
It's next to Charing Cross. It's Thunderbird Chicken.
Thunderbird.
Thunderbird
What's the
Chicken.
good thing from
and
there?
The wings are great. They do Chipotle wings with a blue cheese sauce. They do barbecue. They do salted caramel and something else wings. They do regular wings, and the burgers are great.
And do the wings have? Because I went to this bit in Edinburgh, and the wings had a bit of the breast as well. It's like they cut a big triangle of the breast off with the wings, so the wings were actually pretty meaty and good. It was
That's
great.
a good idea.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Nah, check out Thunderbird next to Charing Cross. It's good, man.
I actually had KFC today, a classic.
Was it nice?
It was actually. It's a bit of a lottery these days with KFC. It's not always good, but this one I was like, this guy's done well.
I thought you're super like healthy and you only eat healthy things.
I am, but when I leave
The
the house,
cheat days.
Yeah. Today was just I'm having fried chicken. You know, one of those days. It's important to do that as well. Even if you're eating healthy all the time, it's important to occasionally be like, I have some fried chicken today.
I do it the other way around.
I need to live. Yeah, well, that's a way as well.
It's
That's a fun. That's a fun way.
The KFC in Barbados is better than the KFC here in the
This, I
UK.
was
believe
watching
that.
a podcast.
And so wait, hang on. And also the
KFC.
KFC in New York is better than the KFC in
KFC
London.
here is
Food in
trash.
KFC
America,
here
man.
is trash.
It's trash, isn't it?
And you guys don't get the biscuit.
Ugh.
That's one of the main things. You get the biscuit.
Biscuit is just like a rock bread.
Nah, it's
Not
it's
going
It's
to
a-
KFC.
if you
crumbly
scra-
and
if you
nice.
scratch
and
it-
if you get it warm and put some butter in there, nah, it's great.
If
man.
you scratch it, it's actually a bourbon. Bourbon biscuit.
But nah,
Call back there.
yeah,
For those
that wasn't
Leos.
worth it.
Go on.
Anyone listen to episode 1?
But nah, the KFC in other places is so much
Man, the
better.
food just in general in America, the food in America is just phenomenal. Huge
I mean,
portions.
yeah.
Just so good.
I mean, it is and it isn't as well.
It is.
It's good. It's
Yeah, I like the
Big portion.
supermarkets.
the
as well.
best Chinese I've ever had was in America. It's like
Have you been to China?
no, but this place was mad, mate. You know what I mean? Like you go in Chinatown, you eat all these different
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
This was like proper like sweet and sour chicken that just
I had the most amazing chicken
it was
balls.
it was no, it's not the chicken balls. You know, like the what is it? The Cantonese
Szechuan
or whatever it was. Yeah, it was like even my brother warned me. He's like, listen. This is next level.
You're gonna
Dude, I know when somebody bakes something up,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
disappoints. Dude, this was like, it was like crack. It was like, I ate it and I wanted to go and get more that same day. It
Yeah.
was like, and I ate it every day for the rest of the holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
It was that good. It
Yeah.
was like mind blowing.
Do you remember that Chinese restaurant we went to in like Copenhagen or Amsterdam or some shit? And we had no idea. Oh my god! Yeah, they served us this. We don't know what we ordered. We weren't helping pay
It was
attention.
Denmark. We were Denmark, I believe.
Right.
Yeah,
we
Denmark.
were doing pretty well this day. Right. We were relaxed and enjoying ourselves, and then we went in there, and the guy. We couldn't remember what we ordered, and the guy brought over some stuff that just looked terrible. I was like, sorry, what is this? And he wouldn't answer. I was like, what is this? Is this chicken or beef? He was like, oh, that's the one from the there and the this. And he was like, yeah, but what is this? He just would not answer. I was like, man, this is some freaky meal we're getting served.
No. You would go, is this a chicken? And he'd go, yeah, it's this chicken. And then you would go, but I ordered beef. Yeah, it's the beef. And then I'll look at me and say, he's like, Nico, I don't know what is this, but it ain't no chicken and this ain't no beef. He's like,
the worst meal.
I was like, fam, this is human.
There was a kebab shop we had up in.
It's the worst meat I've ever tasted in my life.
Yeah, I
You tried it and you were like, whoa.
I was like, yeah, I don't know.
Probably not
normal.
human. Apparently, human's quite tasty. Long
Yeah,
pigs. That's what we're calling. Is it Borneo? The cannibal tribes call humans long pigs
Long pigs.
because we're long pigs. We've got all that pig meat on it.
Oh man, at least try and be like sly about your cannibalism.
Yeah.
Calling people long pigs. That's
That was in
upsetting.
the old days when cannibalism was okay.
Give it a couple of years.
What was that thing that happened? What was that movie where they crash? And
Oh,
then they
yeah.
what
Alive.
was that?
Alive.
yeah, with the rugby team.
True
in
story.
In a
And then they eat one of them, innit?
They ate a bunch of them because a bunch of them died and their bodies just preserved in the ice. And
I
they
mean,
run out of
you
food.
would if you had to, but like you'd try not to. But if you had to, how would you cook? someone?
But they ate them.
I think
They ate them.
just ate it. Yeah, they just put the strips out in the thing to dry out, and then they just ate it because they didn't have anything to cook them on. And then, then they thought, well, we've eaten all the people, we should start on these sandwiches.
yeah, airline food though.
And who were they again?
They were so it was
Where
a
were they
plane
from?
flying over the
Argentinian rugby team.
Yeah.
not the actual Argentinian team, but like I think just the.
Wait a minute. And they crashed into a mountain. And
Yeah.
They were alive.
He's setting up a conspiracy. I can see it happening. There's
No,
some
I'm just
government
asking.
involvement.
No, wait a minute. But my question is, how do you crash a plane into a mountain and not fatally kill everyone? You just bump off the top and land, or what?
Yeah, basically.
That's crazy.
I think they went down in the mountains.
A lot of people.
Because in the
did-
movie, they're in like the top of the mountain. I've seen
Yeah.
the movie, and I just remember thinking like, wow, that's mad that the crane crash happened and then they survived.
A lot
on
of
the
them
side
did
a
die.
mountain. Yeah, that's crazy.
Alice thinking, and the vaccine.
Mate, I'm double checking everything at this point. Everything at this point, I'm like, what are you fucking trying to get me with?
plane was registered in Bill Gates' name.
And Fauci was the co-pilot.
Those people on the plane had patents in their name.
Why did Darius leave these here, considering he's the person who's going to...
But hang on, there was that conspiracy with the man who, remember there was this guy, he invented a car that was, instead of petrol, it used water, rainwater,
Yeah.
and then he got shot.
No shit.
Yeah.
Of course.
You remember that much?
A car can't
the
use
moon?
water.
Huh?
A car can't use water as fuel.
Pull it up.
No, I mean, I've no doubt there's a YouTube video saying it's true, but no, a car can't use water.
Pull it up.
It's the laws of thermodynamics. Like you can't.
No, it's
It
a
costs.
thing.
It takes more energy to split the water into hydrogen and
I don't know how
oxygen
he
So
he
you
was
think
doing it,
that
than
but
you
he
get from
If
burning
you
You did
think-
know
hydrogen.
you'd be shot.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember there's something about a patent. Someone had a patent and then they died, and then this one guy who wasn't on the plane suddenly inherited.
There's
just came out.
2 pharmacists that used to produce hydroxychloroquine, and that was the main thing that they were producing, and they were brutally murdered in their own home.
The mysterious death of Stanley Mayer and his water-powered car. Yes, and he got shot. Some Soviet men came and talked to him and popped him. The crime scene is Grove City, Ohio. Boom, boom, with all the ingredients of an American province that is dear to crime writers. Yeah, so there it is. That's the cure. Water-powered. Boom, true story.
Doesn't look very good.
It looks like it's going really fast.
It just says water-powered on the side of
Yeah.
it. Which,
In 3 months,
I'll need more,
So
to
they
see more
smoked
proof
him.
than that.
it does look like a patch. It looks like a mini moke.
But this is the thing with Tesla. They said that Tesla actually invented something where electricity will be free to all, kind of thing.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And
It's powered by Jesus Christ our Lord, and then the American flag. What does it use for the window wipers? Is that just fuel? Just.
He looks like the kind of guy that might invent something, to be fair.
Man,
You know
I've
what I mean?
seen that car. That's not a water powered car.
What are you talking about, Leo? It says water-powered on the side of it.
He did. It was powered because they even did a news story on him, and
How did it work? How did it? Oh, a news story. So local news turned up to see his petrol-powered car drive along with water powered.
They literally showed him pouring water in the car.
Yeah,
And it worked.
like it goes in a little tank.
No, but
there's another tank with petrol in it.
It worked, man.
That this water set on fire.
You see, big car got you brainwashed.
Big car.
It's true though. The man actually did that. But that's the thing. Anytime you come up with something that the industry or people can't make profit from, they're gonna smoke you,
Listen,
bro.
how about this one, Leo?
They could totally make profit from that because everybody would want one.
Whether or not that water powered car exists, right? I promise you this: if you did invent one, they would kill you.
Yeah.
If you did come along and say, "I've got something that makes petrol obsolete," they'd be like, "Oh, really? Come into this back room."
Yeah,
like, you know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're not walking out. Oh, great! Go take all our money.
It says here he wasn't shot; he was poisoned.
Yeah. So they assassinated the guy.
Um,
And there's somebody else that made something. What was it? And the industry was like,
Gonna
hey,
need a bit more info.
no, the industry or whatever industry people said, no, we can't have this because we can't make money from this. And he got smoked.
no, but anybody can make money from that. It's like
No, but there's a lot less money for a lot of other people who are very happy.
Big petrol and big oil are going to be like, nah, we can't have that.
In a similar way to like.
I got shares in BP. I hope they stamp it out.
Yeah, and as I said, Tesla had an invention that would make electricity free for all or something like that.
Free energy.
And then there was another thing. I can't remember what it was, but there was a documentary about it. And basically the main industry said we cannot have this product because we would lose all our things.
But this breaches. I mean, it breaks the sort of laws of. In fact, it says here, if the device worked as specified, it would violate both the first and second laws of thermodynamics, because you'd need. So it uses electricity to split water into.
The man did it.
No,
I saw with my eyes.
but you saw a parlor trick. Fuck me, I saw a guy pull a fucking rabbit out of a hat. It doesn't mean he's got a hat that produces
I
rabbits.
replicated the experiment and it's possible.
Well, funnily enough, you could because his there's no patent on his inventions now, so you can get the
The only
patents
thing it was that
that are
it
in the
was
public domain.
was not a very fast car. That's the only thing.
It shouldn't have been able to move at all because you'd use more energy splitting the water molecule.
He found a way around that, Leo.
How?
We don't know. That's why he got smoked.
Oh yeah, so the
I'm
mechanism
on this one. I'm on the fence.
the
I don't
mechanism
know
was
which one
alleged
I'm
to
on.
Pull
use-
out the video of him driving. Stanley Meyer driving.
What did you always tell me about the moon landing? There's some shit that they forgot they lost the moon rocks or something. What was the thing about the moon landing?
Yeah, they did lose the rocks.
They lost
the
lost the rocks, and they also said they lost the technology to go back.
Yeah, the fact that they lost the rocks is always like, there's no chance. You misplaced that.
Okay.
Yeah, see, my man. This is my guy.
12 months.
That's literally like I've seen that car. Like it's
And of course, the blessing to the use of the water.
it's got a petrol engine in it.
That on combustion, the byproduct is water mist. So we're even solving the environmental pollution problem at the same time that we're using water to maintain the industrial basis.
Not seeing it going anywhere though.
Nah, there's a bit where he takes that
Carr is
outside.
protective about his inventions to the point of self-confessed paranoia. Most observers describe him as a crank and his car as an aberration. But then madness and genius often go. The scientific establishment may have ignored the likes of Meyer. The powerful military-industrial complex certainly hasn't. Over the past 10 years, Meyer says he's been quietly approached by many influential organizations who would never admit publicly to their involvement
Where's
with
the
him.
fucking thing going?
It is involved in deep space exploration, and it's also being developed quite highly in the military. Basically,
Oh, is this the car movie? For fuck's sake.
So it would need electricity or something. It would need electricity. It would need some sort of extra source of power other than the water. It would need electricity to split the water into hydrogen and oxygen.
Listen, we don't want to know this. Oh, do you see it move there?
Yeah, he just.
Why is
See?
this video? Why did he
Is that
show a
not all the
shaky
proof
picture
you-
of a sign?
Is that not all the
Yeah.
proof you need there? Look.
No, that's a lorry.
Ah, yeah. That's one of the
Truckers.
Canadian truckers.
I don't know where I stand on this water car. I don't know where I'm going to go with this.
I can't wait till we have you next on and you have all the answers.
Sort of, I'm not going to investigate the water car. It's
Oh,
like
come on, man.
it's like flat Earth. It's like
You're the
there's
only one
bigger
here
fish to
who's
fry.
willing to do some work.
Yeah, no, you underestimate me.
Somebody messaged us from the Flat Earth Society and said they want to come on.
To provide a bit of reason.
They want to come on the
Provide some
podcast.
more normal opinions. Yeah, no, let's get them in. Wait, is that the Prague Flat Earth Society?
No. This is a different person, and they got a whole podcast of an Instagram page of like I think they got 40.
Let's get the water car
Let's get
thing
the Flat
sorted
Earth
first.
people on. Because, I mean, in
Yeah, do
fairness,
that.
the Earth looks flat.
Valid
Does.
point.
Bumpy, but flat.
I'd like to know what they think about time zones. You know, like
Yeah.
how it's dark on this side and it's light over here. What's going on with that?
myth.
I got
I
a
bet
friend
we've got
who's
an
a
answer
flat
for that.
earther.
Yeah.
But
We
I
will
don't know if
see.
he'll come on.
I feel like we've definitely got bigger problems than the curvature of the Earth. You know what I mean? To be focusing our attention on. That's my thing with the flat Earth.
Yeah.
It's
Like
like,
all these
what
cat-
difference does it make?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so what?
Who's benefiting from it being?
Well, yeah, like if it's flat, it doesn't really affect me. I'm not running that far. You know what I mean?
Do you think Soros made
Well-
it flat?
Honestly, I don't think it's flat, but if it is, like, my point is, so what?
My thing is, if the Earth is spinning, if I jump, I shouldn't land back the same place.
You,
Wait a
you
minute,
got
what?
momentum. You got momentum.
No, I don't.
You do.
No, I don't. That's
I'm
my
not
thing I
talking
don't
about your
understand.
career. I mean, like, just physically. You've got
How?
momentum.
No, not if I'm. Momentum is if I'm moving.
Yeah. So you're moving.
Nico,
Oh.
if you're on a tube, yeah, and the tube is moving and you jump up and down, you're staying in the same spot, don't you?
No,
Yeah, you do.
no.
You do.
If I'm on a skateboard and I jump up, the skateboard goes along without me.
It should.
No,
like,
no. If you're moving on the skateboard and you jump, it's called a kickflip. Like,
No. If I'm on a skateboard and I jump straight up, the skateboard will go along without me, and I would land behind the skateboard.
Let's get this video. This is the Patreon episode of Nico on a skateboard.
If you're on a skateboard
This
and you
is
jump
this
straight
and
up, what's
Andrew
gonna
Lawrence
happen?
versus you and penalties. That's what people want to watch.
But if you're on the tube.
No,
and
we're
you
talking about skateboard.
No, like, forget skateboard.
No, the skateboard-
Because the tube's a contained environment. There's no air resistance or anything like that. If you're on the tube and you jump up in the air, does the tube suddenly scoot off underneath you? Or are you traveling with the same momentum as the tube?
It's air pressure.
Oh, no. What happens? The tube, if I stand at the back, the door, I would hit into the door.
No.
I think it's probably best we don't get the flat earther on because it's going to convince us all that it's flat. But just bring up 2 videos and we're all going to be exactly convinced.
Nah, but if you're on a skateboard, and you jump, the skateboard will leave you behind.
No.
It would.
No.
100%. Let's get a skate.
But you see people do tricks and stuff. They
That's because they jump forward, they push forward with it.
then the skateboard would go backwards.
You're traveling at the same speed as a skateboard, right? So why would you
And if
slow
you
down
jump,
if you jumped up?
the skateboard is on wheels, it's going ahead of you, and then you land
Okay,
behind it.
Nico, in a car, if there is a fly in a car as you're moving at 70 miles an hour on the motorway, the fly doesn't slam into the back of the back windscreen, does it?
Was it not?
No.
No, because he's flying fast.
70 miles an hour.
He's putting in work. That's why they fly out when they can. He's like, I need to get out of here. Where's the window? You know what I mean? Like,
All right, I think we have to end.
That was a good point, Mooch. It was very well explained. I'm like, oh yes, the force is strong with this one.
nah, but I think if the Earth is genuinely spinning, if you jump, you should end up somewhere else.
Do you honestly believe that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I honestly think that.
Sounds like a crazy world.
I don't understand how that's not happening.
Skateboard.
I mean, it is mad that we're spinning because it's fast as well. We're spinning thousands of miles a second or
So
something.
that's why I might be open to flat Earth
I
if
think
they can explain that.
this is going to be dangerous.
And you'd think the centrifugal forces of spinning at that speed would like tear, override gravity, which is quite a weak force.
That is what gravity is.
No,
The f-
no. Gravity is any matter has a gravitational force, but you need a huge amount of matter to have like a noticeable, sort of humanly measurable gravitational force. That's why it's called the weak force. But yeah, the centrifugal force is actually pushing us out the way.
We gotta get Neil deGrasse Tyson up in here.
yeah, let's drop him a tweet.
And the Flat Earth Society.
He's a propaganda man, though. I don't trust him.
Let's get the Flat Earth Society on. That'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be good.
We would get cancelled again, but
Yeah, but I don't think they're looking out for Flat Earth information right now.
I don't think. Yeah. Let's see what they think about.
you know,
that.
Joe Rogan used to be a moon landing guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He used to be like, nah, we didn't go to the moon. But then he started getting sponsorships and stuff. And then
From NASA.
he changed his tune. There's an
Right.
episode.
He's a round earth shill.
Yeah. There's an episode where Eddie Bravo looks him dead in the eye and goes,
Eddie Bravo. That man is definitely sane.
Yeah. Eddie Bravo goes, Joe, what happened to you, man?
Really?
who got to you? There's an episode where he's like, yeah,
I
who
wanna
got to
see
you?
that. Which
Because
one?
Joe got me looking into the moon landing stuff, and then I was like, yo, this ain't adding up.
He's a JFK guy. He believes that there is something fishy going on.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody told me an interesting thing about the Russian space race because people say like Yuri Gagarin was the first cosmonaut, first man in space, and this Russian guy, my mate was working on doing filming in Russia, and the Russian guy was like, no, he was the first man to come back alive. So they sent men into space, but obviously it's a communist regime. They can afford to like send people in to cover it up. It's not like papers are going to be digging around being like, "Where's this cosmonaut gone?" So Yuri Gagarin was the first one to go up and come down again.
Oh, I never even thought that. It just blasting
Yeah.
guys off. Just saying it never.
They put a few dogs up. No one complained about that.
And some
Barbados,
monkeys.
we
That
saying
Barbados
cats.
Space Trust travel.
cats.
Just punting cats into the sky. I've got to go, guys. And we've done an hour
No
and
time for
46.
space cats.
Okay.
I was
When?
You sure? You sure?
I think one day,
Space cats using toilets in space.
man, one day we've got to let this podcast go for 24 hours and see where we end up. That is, we'll get advanced.
Cats use toilets in space. That's the next one. Oh shit.
All right. Do you want to push anything?
Oh
or-
yes, I am coming to Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Newcastle in April. So April 5th is Edinburgh. Where?
Just send them to your website if you've got it.
Just click the link in my Instagram. I'm doing April 5th, 6th, and 7th. Glasgow, Edinburgh, Newcastle. I'm not sure which order, but it's in my Instagram. I'm coming up north. People always ask me when I'm coming up north, so I'm coming up north. April. Check it out. At the Stand Comedy Club.
Hide your cats.
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, go to my YouTube and become a Patreon because I do a Patreon-only podcast with a criminal barrister. And it's fun. So we dissect the stories. It's not very sort of legalish. It's more like she just batters in with like funny stuff, but it's good.
Alistair, you got anything to plug, man?
Yes, I've started my own comedy club. It's Reigate Comedy Club. The opening night is February the 16th.
And who's on the bill?
So the comedians are so good at it, sold out in 4 days.
Amazing.
The whole event's sold out, so we'll be doing more of those coming to you, the live. You're looking at the bill here. You're looking at the bill here.
It's us. It's me and
us.
Nico.
It's you, Nico.
We're the comedians.
Me and Ian Stone.
Good lineup.
And we're bringing comedy back. Bring comedy back to Reigate.
Nice.
And first Reigate, then who knows where else. We're going
Yeah.
to build our own comedy industry, and we're going to turn the ship around, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
That's what we're going to do. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on the pod, Al.
Yeah, man.
Anytime.
Nice,
Yeah,
man.
good to see you,
Anytime.
man.
Always a good time. Always a good time.
Wonderful. Right.
Done?
Ladies and gentlemen, good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.